Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson talking about chronic illnesses at a confirmation hearing for Robert F. Kennedy Jr., nominated to be Health and Human Services Secretary.
Can't we come together as a nation and do this?
The Democrats are pressing Kennedy about walking back previous comments on issues including abortion and vaccines. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren bringing up Kennedy's work as a lawyer in suits against drug companies, accusing him of wanting to cash in.
You could change vaccine court processes to make it easier to bring junk lawsuits. You could turn over FDA data to your friends at the law firm, and they could use it however it benefited them.
Kennedy accusing Warren of wanting a pledge that he won't bring cases against drug and vaccine companies as secretary.
Senator, I support vaccines. I support the childhood schedule. I will do that. The only thing I want is good science, and that's it.
How about then say you won't make money off what you do as Secretary of HHS?
Kennedy also telling senators he agrees the U.S. should end the disparity between what the U.S. pays for drugs and what other countries pay. President Trump is set to sign the Laken-Riley Act into law.
That allows authorities who arrest somebody in the country illegally for any reason to hold them to be deported. We know that some Democrats who supported this bill have been invited to the White House, but we don't know yet which of them, if any, are going to show up.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. The law is named after a Georgia nursing student killed by a Venezuelan man who entered the country illegally and had been arrested in the U.S. before. Democrats who opposed the new law raised due process concerns. The president's also expected to sign more executive orders, including one telling federal agencies to repurpose federal dollars with an emphasis in the education department on school choice programs. America is listening to Fox News.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Sunshine and not too bad at all for the end of January. 52 for the high going through our Wednesday afternoon. Tonight, clouds take control, though it's kind of a slow process. 33. Thursday, cloudy skies, rain developing Thursday afternoon, going through the afternoon. 50. Periods of rain, even a rumble of thunder, a flash of lightning Thursday night. That will be our heaviest rain. 45. Changeable skies on Friday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Land Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone or just taking a deep, calming breath to ground yourself. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or CVS. That's newnordicusa.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time in terms of trying to get this done. So, yes, I think democracy will have an effect, and we are going to keep at it. We're going to keep at it legally. We're going to keep at it legislatively, but we're also going to keep at it in terms of the grassroots. Thank you, everybody.
Ryan, can you sum up Chuck Schumer there? I mean, he's watching RFK Jr. on Capitol Hill right now in Senate confirmation hearings, and he seems excited.
Well, what he's saying is that what we're seeing in the confirmation hearings is basically a sitting position. He's able to see everybody.
You can.
I'll just
People
stop.
are aroused. I haven't.
See, he can see the whole picture. All we can see is just
I can
right
have a
chest
whole
up.
show planned. I can have everything ironed out beautifully for the day. And then Chuck Schumer says that, and I'm like, forget everything else.
Oh, I know. I listened to that on loop because it just made me laugh every
He's the
time.
same one who accidentally said incite an erection.
Yes, he did.
He's just a little more on the, well.
That was, but what he said today was deliberate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's all we got to say about that.
Yeah.
Happy Wednesday. We'll leave it at that. RFK Jr.'s been on Capitol Hill in front of the Senate Hearing Committee, and they have been peppering him back and forth. The traditional Republicans, the interesting thing about this one specifically is the Republicans that are asking him questions, it's not just an emphatic love fest for Republicans' sake, because RFK Jr. is not a good Republican.
It's very true. He's been
also
a really interesting hearing.
Not a Republican.
He's not a Republican.
But he says, and he says this repeatedly, he said it on the campaign trail, he said it here today again, and I really do believe him. But he says that I get on my knees every night and pray to God that he will put me in a position to solve this chronic disease epidemic for our children. He specifically talks about children. And I feel, I don't know, I kind of believe him. I don't believe a lot of the people who I would continue to be blowhards, who are going to be spending their, 7 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it might be, on this panel asking these questions. You want the campaign commercial. You want to be able to say that you held people to account that disagreed with you, so on and so forth. But there's something about RFK Jr., and I think it's because the one consistent thing that I've seen from him is his dedication to making our country healthier from the bottom up, not from waving his finger at you and shaming you for what you're doing, but in many ways saying everybody's being set up to fail because people want to get richer. And you don't even know that this is taking place. And he's litigated over this quite a bit. You know, he talks about how because he's also an environmentalist. He's kind of a climate guy. He talks about how the climate is affected by toxic chemicals, and it kills animals, and it kills fish, and it, you know, is killing our nature. Well, that stuff gets in our food, and it's killing us too. And for whatever reason in America, we're not doing things to prevent our people from being affected by these toxins the way other countries have already addressed them to be. And he wants to make America healthy. You know, I guess again, but I would say as 40-somethings in this room, our entire life has been a life of processed, chemically altered, or forged food. Our whole life. We have not been eating, as I tell my kids, if God made it, you can eat it. And even at that, you wonder, like, okay, if that came out of the ground, what was sprayed on it before it came out of the ground? Or how was it fed? What was altered about the way whatever you would assume would come from the ground, from the soil, from the earth, from the animals on our planet? Like, how have they been altered for the dollars and cents of it? I just don't think we know. But it is really wild to think that in my 40 years of life, that has been the entire 4 decades, is chemically altered and processed food.
And instead of running from it, I've just turned and embraced it. And I eat basically just processed foods. But that's not because I want to. It's because it's the easiest thing to do. And if they could make it easier for me to eat healthier, I'd be glad.
He said at the beginning of this that if you want to eat a Hostess Twinkie, I wonder if Hostess was like, yeah. Oh,
Hostess. Oh, wait. Oh, that's us. Oh, wait. Ooh. I don't know if we want to be here.
Yeah. He's like, if you want to eat a Hostess Twinkie, eat a Hostess Twinkie. I just want you to know what is going into that when you consume it. I think the pressures to make these types of foods that we consume on a regular basis healthier. I mean, if a piece of candy needs to be a little less red in order for it to not have red dye number 4 or whatever the heck it is in it, is it still going to taste good? Can we do without the red dye 4? Is it easy to do, especially if those types of things are already being made? The formulas already exist for other countries that don't have the fear in restricting this. Maybe they're willing to stand up against the dollar that is being made to make it cheaper. I don't understand any of it. I'm very interested in the conversation as a whole to hear, what are we doing to poison our bodies and we have no idea that we're doing it. I know so many people, I'm included in that, especially having 4 babies and going in and out of trying to lose weight, that there are some things that seem so incredibly difficult to achieve, and then you find out that these chemicals that are being pumped into, say, the beef that you're eating, or that are being sprayed on the food that you're trying to consume, are working against your biology to help you be a naturally healthy person. Like, we are designed in a way that is supposed to maintain a healthy system. And when you put in chemicals that are foreign to it, you start to alter those things, and then we get chronic disease, which is another thing he talks about a lot. My eyes are wide open. My ears are wide open on it. The person who I found the most compelling today, as far as the center goes, is Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin, who says what I think. I found myself going, yes, that's the attitude I'm having today.
Bobby, this is an answer to my prayers. We need to get to the answers of this, but even more, we need to heal and unify this divided nation. I'm not necessarily the most optimistic guy because we've got enormous challenges facing this nation, but I thought, wow, here's somebody from the left, somebody I don't agree with on many issues politically, coming together with President Trump and focusing on an area of agreement, something that the American people desperately want. Finding out the answers. What has caused autism? What is causing chronic illness? Ms. Kennedy, I think I've come to know what's in your heart. I think I know the personal and political price you've paid for this decision. I want to say publicly, I thank you for that. I truly appreciate what you're doing here. Can't we come together as a nation and do this? Can we do? Aren't you getting tired of this? I'm getting tired of this. So
Senator Johnson there is making a really important political point, not for political gain, I don't think. I think he truly feels this. But here you have a bipartisan committee in front of a nominee from the president who won the popular vote, of course, the electoral vote, 7 out of 7 swing states, the Republican House, the Republican Senate. I mean, Donald Trump won. America chose him. America picked him over the alternative in the Democrat Party. And they're sitting across a Democrat who was appointed or nominated by Donald Trump to serve in this capacity because they were able to look at each other eye to eye and see that they had a mutual interest in accomplishing something bigger than just themselves or their prospective parties. I am more leery of RFK Jr. in this position as I am with anybody, just because he doesn't toe the Republican line. But how many Republicans have we watched toe the line and then really suck at their jobs? RFK Jr. has a passion for what he can potentially transformatively affect our healthcare system, the health of the American people. And I do believe him when he says to Donald Trump, you know, we disagree on a lot of things, but we agree on this. Let's come together and do something good where we agree. That this is the idea of America. You are encouraged to have your own thoughts and perspectives on any particular issue. But if you can come together, where two can come together, 3, 4, 5, and you can care about something bigger than just yourself, you can really do magnificent things. And it's happening there. And then we watch on this panel the Republican, Democrat ping pong, and that's all the same. And I just thought from Johnson there, that was a bit of a breath of fresh air to be like, folks, this is the ideal here. Everybody is represented in some way here. There's what could possibly be done from an electorate that sends Donald Trump to be the president, who has the ability to nominate his cabinet? Who could he possibly pick? Name anybody that would be even remotely nominatable by Donald Trump that any of these Democrats would like.
Yeah, it just wouldn't happen. I'm actually glad that RFK Jr. is a Democrat. He doesn't fall into boxes. And that's what I like about him. He's kind of like Trump in the sense that you can go back decades and he's been saying the same thing for so long. So you know he's stuck to his principles. And this guy in particular, Donald Trump's very like this too, but RFK Jr. is a Kennedy. He could sit in Massachusetts. He could go to the Hamptons. He's got a celebrity wife. He's part of the culture. He could have been an environmentalist who everybody thought it was cool to be around him. He could have had a very easy life. And he has chosen to go after a very, very heart-centered issue for him. It has been for a long time. So in that sense, I'm not sure how you could not believe him that he's not going to toe the line. He does not care what system is in his way. He doesn't care what the label is. He's got a goal, and he goes after it. And I really respect that about him.
The hearings are continuing to occur here, and, you know, like we could, at this point, we could cover it, but you kind of know what's going to happen. And the whole time I'm listening to it, I'm waiting to hear, specifically for RFK Jr., because Tulsi Gabbard is another one that I'm interested in what she has to say. Kash Patel is popcorn stuff. That will be very interesting to watch just for the theatrics of it. But I wanted to hear what he had to say. I wanted to give him the opportunity to persuade me, like, this is the right guy for the job. I mean, he talks about praying to God to send him the opportunity to do what he's about to have the chance to do. And I felt confidence watching him today in a way that, like, if I'm watching Pam Bondi, it's like, yes, okay, just do the thing, get it done, approve her, fine. Kind of the same thing with Pete Hegseth. If he's got the votes, he's got the votes. I think the RFK Jr. vote, when it comes down, will be very interesting to see if some Democrats do cross over. I think you'll see Democrats vote for him. I don't think that any of these nominees are in trouble.
Yeah, I don't either. They keep saying that Tulsi's the one that everybody's thinking might have the toughest time. But I unless she totally bombs.
I don't know. I feel like RFK Jr. has been more discussed in that way than Tulsi.
Well, he's certainly been grilled today.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the Attorney General of the state of Missouri is going to join us. Andrew Bailey on the Annie Frey Show. I'm excited to talk to him about some of the efforts that Donald Trump has put into play, some of the executive orders, and how he expects to represent that and the law in the state of Missouri, specifically when it comes to DEI and also immigration and what we're seeing across the country. If it's here in Missouri, what about that cooperation between law enforcement agencies? Andrew Bailey next.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Michael's Flooring Outlet online at igotfloored.com. Your shopping for flooring is made simple when you go to people who are experts. That's what you get at Michael's Flooring Outlet. The family-owned and operated business. When you shop at Michael's, you're shopping with people who have been running a family business right here in St. Louis for 3 decades. They know what they're doing. As flooring has evolved, technology has made it incredibly durable. For instance, the Smart Strand Mohawk Silk line of carpeting, they have really great resilience and the ability for it to be silky soft, but also provide you the superior performance that's going to last that you need. This is the type of investment you're looking for, and they have it at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They have tile, they have carpet tiles for places, commercial places, a lot of times, maybe your basement, help with spills, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, everything you need. It's all there online at igotfloored.com, and they're located in 3 locations across the St. Louis region. You can visit them in St. Charles County, West County, or Darien Prairie. You can request an estimate online, read from reviews of actual customers of Michael's Flooring Outlet, all at igotfloored.com.
Extreme cold weather coming in through St. Louis this mid-January probably. If you're having issues with your furnace, give me a call. If you were told you need a new furnace, without a question, give me a call. You'll be happy you did. We're all the same when it comes to like buying a furnace and air conditioner, just like with pretty much anything else. If you're like me, I want a furnace that heats, and in the heat of summer, I want an air conditioner that works. Pretty much simple. So is a more high-efficient air conditioner or a more high-efficient furnace give me more heat, or more cooling? No, it doesn't at all. It gives you the exact same. So with that being said, you need to call me. Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Again, 314-293-2600, or you can do the online thing, and it's Bart Inman, Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
What's your favorite 4-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our 4-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar, and maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
97.1 FM Talk presents Talk in Action, where we shine a spotlight on local charities making a difference in our community. Join us as we give back and connect neighbors in need. Visit 971talk.com/talkinaction to learn more. This is the Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Any person with common sense and two eyes would have concluded that this virus almost certainly came from a laboratory. I was pleased to see that CIA has now reached that same conclusion. And as Director Ratcliffe said, that happened on Joe Biden's watch. I read that report before Director Ratcliffe publicized it. It happened in the final week of the Biden administration. It cannot be accused of a politicized intelligence assessment. That's the best evidence we have.
Well, the official position of the CIA is that the COVID-19 virus came out of a lab in China. What is that going to mean for the rest of the world? Is there any sort of follow-up that we're going to have when we take account for that? We're going to ask our Attorney General here in the state of Missouri, Andrew Bailey, who is back with us once again. Happy New Year. It's great to have you back.
Hey, thank you, ma'am. Happy New Year to you as well. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. I got to ask you, how are you feeling 10, 11 days into this new presidency? There's a lot going on, and I'd imagine you're on the edge of your seat.
Oh, totally energized by everything the president is doing to make America great again. Bold, decisive, transformative action. From the moment he was sworn in until now, I mean, he's already been to how many different states, signed how many different executive orders. I mean, this is just incredible how quickly, the pace at which he's undoing the disaster that was the Biden-Harris administration. And certainly, you know, that report that came out from the CIA opining that it was a lab leak from China that caused the COVID-19 pandemic. It's something we all knew, but now we've got the documented evidence to prove it, and it makes China more culpable in unleashing that pandemic on the entire world.
Yeah, I'm reading here about how Missouri is the only state in the nation to file suit to hold the Chinese Communist Party accountable for causing and exacerbating COVID-19. Gosh, accountability, that's something we haven't really heard of, even had the expectation for. What can you get out of this type of accountability?
Well, we're asking for $25 billion with a B, $25 billion in restitution for the people of the state of Missouri. Look, China caused the pandemic. They caused the COVID-19 pandemic, and their culpability has only increased over time as more evidence comes out. And after they caused the pandemic, they've then withheld and hoarded PPE that the people of the state of Missouri needed, and certainly the government in the state of Missouri needed to respond to the pandemic. This is absolutely abhorrent, and the Chinese Communist government should be made to pay for this. And look, the people's elected representatives in Congress contemplated that the states would have disputes against foreign entities, and so they enacted a statute. It's called the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act. That's the basis for our claim. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to get $25 billion judgment against the Chinese Communist Party, and we'll seek to execute that judgment.
So let me ask you this. Attorney General Andrew Bailey here with us on the Annie Frey Show. When you're the Attorney General for a very red state in the state of Missouri and Joe Biden is the president, how does your day, your schedule change when Donald Trump becomes the president and you are still the Attorney General of that red state?
Well, we're glad to have a partner in the White House that shares our vision for putting Americans first, putting Missourians first, protecting Missourians and our communities instead of woke, radical, left-wing, progressive ideology that only harms people and is done as a fashion statement rather than for practical good. But look, at the end of the day, the nameless, faceless bureaucrats that occupied cubicles in Washington, D.C. and the alphabet soup of the federal bureaucratic administrative state that was always unaccountable to the electorate and never sanctioned by the United States Constitution that President Trump is firing, those people don't go away. They just move to other offices and cause us problems. They're occupying offices in blue states and blue cities across the United States of America. And so the fight goes on, and we have to stay vigilant. And if anyone doubts what I'm saying, look no further than Mayor Quentin Lucas of Kansas City's tweet inviting those bureaucrats that have been fired to come work for the city of Kansas City right here in Missouri. It's deplorable. We're going to keep up on offense.
Attorney General Andrew Bailey with us right now on the Andy Frey Show. Let's talk about some of the actions that Donald Trump has taken, specifically and the most aggressively, I would say, is his unleashing of Tom Homan to extract the illegal alien criminals out of our towns, our neighborhoods, our communities. And, I see a lot of emotion from people who feel as though that this is a very, very terrible thing. But then every time I see Tom Homan on television all the time, and he's explaining, like, these are the worst of the worst people, and we're getting them out of the country because they're here illegally and they're committing crimes. How does Missouri react to President Trump's initiative to clean these criminals out of our state and make sure that Missourians can live safely and securely in the state?
Well, 100% supportive of the president's efforts to, again, put Americans first. Our immigration code and our national borders mean something. And you're right, these people that are here, they broke the law to get here, and then they commit additional crimes while here. And in the state of Missouri, we're one of the last states in the nation where it's a felony offense to knowingly transport an illegal alien into or through this state. It's an anti-human trafficking measure that's absolutely a compelling state interest given our crossroads, being at the crossroads of the nation and having an extensive interstate system. So we intend to enforce that law and partner with President Trump. I'm proud to see our governor, Mike Kehoe, on day one, minutes after he was sworn into office, signing executive orders, contemplating that we would be cooperating with the federal government using the law enforcement apparatus of the state to not only collect data, but to train with ICE to assist them in these endeavors.
I'm watching my state. J.B. Pritzker has probably been the loudest mouth out there to try to talk about pushing back and not cooperating with the measures that are put in place by the new administration. Can you kind of walk me through, what does Missouri have as far as choice goes to participate or to not participate in what the federal government is trying to do here?
Well, there's a codicil in the immigration code that allows a state to opt in and send law enforcement officers that are employed by the state to federal training to then partner with the federal government to augment deportation and immigration code enforcement efforts. And that's what President Kehoe has committed the state of Missouri to doing. And I think it's just the tip of the spear. I think you'll see additional resources deployed in that effort. And I think you see bills moving in the Missouri General Assembly now to compact with other states to fight back against criminal aliens and to, again, assist President Trump in the deportation efforts.
Another effort that we've seen President Trump enacting here in his first days in office has to do with DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and really saying that's done. We're not doing that any longer. How do you feel as though DEI has made its way into the state of Missouri? Are you proud of what the kind of defense that Missouri has put up towards it? And will these executive orders affect the people of Missouri at all?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, look, your tax dollars will no longer be wasted on promoting people in a racist fashion and to enforce segregation in public places. That's what those DEI programs at the federal level were. So proud to see President Trump, really fulfilling the promise of the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution of equal protection and due process that creates a meritocracy and dismantling those racist systems that Biden and Harris had put into place. I was proud to lead that effort here in the state of Missouri over the past 2 years, not only with lawsuits using the Missouri Human Rights Act against localities that were promoting racist policy, but also against corporations. We were the first state in the nation to sue IBM for their racist DEI program, where you had the president of IBM threatening his executives that if they didn't promote one race over another, they would miss out on their bonuses. That absolutely violates the Missouri Human Rights Act, over which the Attorney General has enforcement authority. So proud to have been on the front end of this and that it's now coming to fruition nationwide.
Andrew Bailey speaking with us right now, the Attorney General for the state of Missouri. You can follow him on X at AG Andrew Bailey. We were talking a little bit about China at the beginning of our conversation here and the lawsuit against them for causing and exacerbating COVID-19. You're seeking $25 billion in damages for the people of Missouri. Another question I'm getting here from our listeners who are following us along here on the Annie Frey Show live chat is people are kind of wondering about that purchase of land that some Chinese interests have made. Is there any sort of plan in place for Chinese-owned land in the state of Missouri to correct that, what a lot of people think is an error?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's a statute on the books now that limits how much foreign ownership of land is allowed, and certainly that's something we monitor constantly to ensure that Missouri farmland is utilized by Missouri farmers. But beyond that, I would say that this lawsuit is really the vehicle by which we can course correct. China hadn't shown up to court. They were served and provided due process, but that's how little they think of these United States of America that they couldn't even be bothered to show up in court. Well, if they had a case to put on, if they weren't guilty of inflicting COVID on the rest of us and then hoarding PPE, they would have shown up in court. They didn't. That's why we're going to get the default judgment for $25 billion. And the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, again, that's a statute enacted by the people's elected representatives in Congress, contemplates a method by which a state can then execute that kind of judgment. So China's not going to send us a check. We're going to have to go find Chinese assets, have them seized and sold, and then that money returned to the state of Missouri. So certainly that farmland's on the table.
That was a nice little wrap around on points there. I appreciate that. That's very interesting. Andrew Bailey with us right now. Before we let you go, I understand Pam Bondi was voted out of committee. She's going to be up for her full confirmation vote shortly. Does it, when you're working with an attorney general that is politically aligned with you, do you expect things to start moving at a rapid pace here? Does that take a little pressure off of you because now it's happening at the federal level? What do you think of the possible approval here of Pam Bondi and what happens next?
Well, I'm encouraged that that's moved out of committee and would encourage the Senate to go ahead and confirm her instantly. I know General Pam Bondi. I've had the opportunity to meet with her and heard her articulate her vision for the Department of Justice, and it perfectly aligns with President Trump's vision for America and with our vision for the state of Missouri. Look, Pam Bondi has been a state attorney general. She was attorney general in Florida, so she's done the job that I now do here in Missouri. She's seen it at the state level. She knows how to do it in the federal level. She's going to make America safe again by getting rid of the terrorists that have infiltrated this country, ending the scourge of fentanyl and human trafficking that have been the result of the Biden-Harris administration's porous and open border.
Well, Andrew Bailey, you're a very busy man. We understand that. We appreciate it. And we love to see how you are hustling for the people of Missouri. I know they love it as well. So don't be a stranger. Come back soon and let us know how you continue your progress in fighting for the taxpayers, the citizens of this state and this country. We appreciate you.
Hey, thank you, ma'am. God bless you and your listeners. Look forward to talking again soon.
All right. God bless you as well. Andrew Bailey, appreciate the opportunity to speak with him. I did not. A lot of times I know the answers to the questions I'm asking, or at least I can't say them the way they would with the facts, but I did not connect that $25 billion. And fine, we'll take your land back.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I like thinking outside the box. I mean, that's what we're seeing across the board right now. Is just people going, well, why do we have to do things that way?
Mm-hmm.
And seeing people creatively come up with solutions is fun.
Just seize your assets. Man. Well, you know how Chuck Schumer feels about that. I will play that at least 6 more times today. Just you wait.
Maybe before the end of the hour, 6 more times.
It's possible. I doubt it'll happen in Wiggins, America.
No. You don't think so?
No.
Yeah, I don't know how that would come up.
A cold shower.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did not even mean to make the pun I just made.
People are like, what?
What are they talking about?
I'm going to play it for you again here in a little bit. But before we go to a break, it is National School Choice Week, which is pretty amazing. The fact that you could, choose where your child is going to go to school, how your child's going to learn, if a school district, if a specific school in your area is failing, you don't have to send your kids there and watch them fail forward on your children. School choice is so important. I really am hopeful that the Trump administration will champion school choice. We haven't seen the Secretary of Education hearings yet. That will become, I think, a big topic of conversation, just a little bit downstream from Secretary of Defense and Attorney General and the types of conversations we've seen so far. This is on our show this week, National Lutheran Schools Week. So today we are dressing to like the person that is to our studio left. So if you don't know this, if you've ever checked in the YouTube, you might have an idea, but maybe not. To my left is Brad. To Brad's left is Ethan. To Ethan's left is Ryan, and to Ryan's left is me.
Yeah.
2 o'clock's gonna
It's
be
funny how that turned out. Huh?
2 o'clock. Well, you were the last one to respond. Everybody was on board. You didn't respond till this morning.
That's true.
That's on you.
Well, I saw it last minute,
Uh-huh.
and so my costume reflects that.
You saying you put in less effort to get ready than I normally would?
No. I did put a decent amount of effort in.
2 o'clock.
But
Do you think that at 2 o'clock is it like reveal worthy? Like
Oh, yeah.
Mary Todd Lincoln?
Yes.
Ethan said in our group chat, he goes, I hope you can grow your hair out by tomorrow morning. And I just wrote back, he has a bag of wigs.
I do.
So I'm nervous a little bit about what your interpretation of me is going to look like.
I'll just say this. I think I've really encapsulated you. And like, not maybe outwardly, but inwardly, like your soul.
My spirit, my soul.
Yeah. You'll see.
Are you going to be a jerk?
I don't know, man.
That hesitation
That's a long pause.
is what I needed to know. 2 p.m.
It does deserve a reveal, though.
I am already dressed like Brad.
Yeah.
I got my Adidas jacket on and a Cardinals shirt on. I didn't know what else to do. There's
Nailed
not
it.
much else.
Grow a beard.
Nailed it.
So I could grow a beard, but I can't. So I didn't. You have any beards in that?
Yeah, I
bag of
probably
wigs?
do. I didn't bring the bag, but I probably have some beards. And I know I have mustaches in there.
We are raising funds to reach this super tall order of $15,000 for a Lutheran education scholarship that will help children in our area, in our listening area, in St. Louis. The money stays here. And if we get to $15,000, they are going to match $10,000. Originally, they set out and they're like, we could raise like $5,000. I was like, I think we can do more than that. I want to put the pressure on my people. And now I'm in the middle of the week going, oh my gosh, we should have just really like hit the ball out of the park with 5,000 and been like, oh, high fives all around. But that $15,000 mark is so important to hit because once this scholarship is endowed, it's established, it's perpetual. We can continue to add to it maybe annually or whatever, but it will continue to bless kids going forward as it continues to grow. And so I'm asking you, if you've ever appreciated the idea of school choice, if you have ever appreciated the idea of parochial education, if you've ever appreciated your Lutheran faith and you are connected here to the show because you know that I'm Lutheran, I do talk about my faith. Ryan and Brad are not Lutheran, but they often share their faith as well. It's important to the fabric of this show from noon to 3. We want to make more St. Louis families in Missouri and Illinois have access to that strong foundation. And by doing so, we need you to donate. LESA, Lisa, LESA.STL.org/Annie. That's where you go to donate. And I'm here to tell you that right now, we are just short of $7,000.
Oh, great. That's good.
The goal for today was going to be $9,000 because we're trying to go $3,000 every day. If we do that, we'll get to 15. We're very close to $7,000. So if you can go on to the website right now, Lisa, LESA.STL.org/Annie, $25 can help us get there. We've had donations of $1,000. Whatever you are capable of doing, please consider that generosity. Once we get done with it this week, I won't talk about it anymore, but please help us get across the finish line. Lisa, STL.org/Annie.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Trigger.
aircomfortservice.com. If you are looking as a business owner, an office manager, somebody who does the maintenance for a corporation, and you're trying to figure out why the HVAC system's not working right, commercial repairs are happily done by the wonderful people at Air Comfort Service. All you got to do is reach out to them at 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Call Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation to get a free second opinion on heat exchanger or compressor repairs. They have provided residential and commercial heating and cooling services for over 55 years. You are in very capable hands, very, very kind hands when you work with Air Comfort Service. If you're looking right now at a super steep repair bill, if you're questioning a quoted repair, Air Comfort Service is waiting for your phone call. Get that second opinion for free. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Check out the reviews online. Reach out to them. Tell them Annie sent you. Find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
What's it going to take for you to realize the IRS is in full-blown attack mode, and if you have IRS issues, your timely response is critical? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We certainly know the IRS has ramped up efforts because we're seeing a lot more clients with threats of intents to seize property or levy rights to property. If you have IRS issues, call the Lance Drury Firm today. Today, don't wait. Those IRS notices have hard deadlines for exercising your appeal rights. If you miss the deadline, your rights to a legal appeal are gone. Let the Lance Drury Law Firm get between you and the IRS today, and we'll help you manage your case to achieve the best outcome. IRS problems are serious legal matters, so call Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Don't wait. Call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120, and schedule your free consultation with me, Lance Drury, or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
I'm not sure we've mentioned the poll yet today, but I know a lot of people have already voted. If you haven't, why don't you join us and cast your vote on this question? Do you support school choice? Yes or no? That is the YouTube live chat poll. Of course, we've been talking about school and private school, Lutheran school. This week is Spirit Week, and we're raising money for scholarships for Lutheran schools through lisastl.org. We also will be talking to Corey DeAngelis, who is a expert on school choice, in the next hour. So that's the theme of the day, and that's the question of the day. Do you support school choice? Yes or no? 1247. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
We at the Annie Frey Show are making a big push to make a Lutheran education more accessible for local St. Louis area kids, and I need your help by donating directly at lisastl.org/Annie. That's lisastl.org/Annie.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It is Spirit Week on the Annie Frey Show. It's National Lutheran Schools Week, National School Choice Week, and today we are dressed like each other. So I'm dressed like Brad. You're going to change it too?
Yeah, I'm going to change.
I didn't have a big reveal. Was yesterday Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was I was a little disconcerted yesterday. I walked out of the studio after I had my Winnie the Pooh onesie on, and I passed producer Drew. And he was like, "Hey, Annie." I was like, "I'm dressed as Winnie the Pooh, like a little. Like, don't act like this is normal."
Yeah.
And then
You know what, though? You do work at a radio station.
I know, but we're not the weird ones.
No, but there's always just stuff going on.
We don't have to yuck.
Yeah, we do.
It's like bigger when we do.
I guess that's true.
Maybe KMOX a little bit more.
Now, let's shoe on the other foot. If Mark Cox walks by wearing a Winnie the Pooh outfit, does Drew say something?
Hard to tell. I don't know if this is a Drew thing or a 97.1 thing.
That's why I'm asking.
I just know yesterday I was like, Drew, I'm going to need a little more like, what are you doing dressed like this reaction. Today he saw me, he's like, oh, no, Winnie the Pooh Day. I'm like, no, today I'm Brad. He goes, oh, I see it. So at 2 o'clock, we're going to have a Brad, Ethan, Ryan reveal. Brad dressing like Ethan dressing like Ryan, and Ryan dressing like the host of the show.
Yes. Captured it well, too, I might add.
On a scale of 0 to 10, and I'm giving you 0 as an option, how much are people going to love your iteration of me?
9.
I love that you weren't willing to go to a 10.
There's always room for improvement, Annie, as I always say.
Am I the last one? nine
you
out
could
of 10
alter
people.
yourself to be closer to my costume.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know about that. If you want to support our shenanigans here, the best way to do it is to donate to our Lutheran Education Scholarship that we are working hard on meeting our $15,000 goal by the end of the week, but we're trying to get to $9,000 today. I haven't gotten an update this hour, but we're just short of $7,000. So if you could please make a donation, it's going straight to help local kids access that Lutheran education, make it even more affordable than it already is. So please, lesastl.org/Annie.
Wiggins!
Oh, Wiggins!
I looked up today and I saw RFK Jr. trying to save us from bad food, and I thought, how can I help?
Yeah.
And I said, well, if he can save us from bad food, I can save us from bad manners while eating that food.
Can you imagine Ryan Wiggins at a Senate hearing?
No. But, I think that means that we should try it. Let's pull the strings that we have and see if I can get nominated for something in the Buttigieg category.
What do those strings include?
What does that mean?
Something that
Buttigieg
you would have thought would have been like really unimportant until they took it, and then you realized how important it was.
Oh man, that's super important.
Yeah.
George wants to know, is Ryan's costume going to involve lipstick?
No.
That's disappointing.
We'll have to wait till 2 and see.
It's not 2 o'clock yet.
What if what if the people get us to $9,000 before 2 o'clock?
Will I put on lipstick?
Yeah.
If they get us to 9,000 before
2 o'clock.
2?
I mean, that's not going to happen. That's a safe.
Yeah.
You look like a good guy by doing it.
You know what? For the kids, I'll do just the upper lip.
You put lipstick on for the kids?
If we get to 10,000 by 2,
Ethan, no.
you know what? That's probably
No.
poorly phrased.
No. $9,000 goal by 2 o'clock.
Yep, upper lip. Mm-hmm. And
Andy
a
is
little bit
giving
of the
it.
lower lip, I'll do the Betty Boop thing.
Just the middle.
Yeah, just the middle.
That'll be a look.
Go
Yeah,
back to your topic.
that's right.
$9,000, people. Man, if you make this happen, would Wiggins allow Annie to apply the lipstick? No, Annie would not allow that. He can have my lipstick. He could just have the rest of it.
Yeah, whose lipstick am I using? That's another question. Can you donate lipstick?
If
as
Brad
well?
won't let you use his, you can use mine.
Okay.
You can't use mine.
Does it have monetary value?
Can I use the cream from a fudge round? Because I will. I promise you. It's for the children. All right.
People are aroused. I
Oh, no. No,
haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time in terms of trying to.
Yeah, just
The people around him are kind of shuffling around. Oh yeah.
that's the moment where you see the person next to him and they just like slow pan.
Oh,
Did you hear what you just said? All right. We did half your segment for you.
Yep, thank you very much. These are ways in which you may be messing up at restaurants. And I want to point them out. I'm going to shine a spotlight on it. I'm going to say
people.
the thing. I'm going to say the thing. You tell me
$9,000.
whether you think it's appropriate or inappropriate, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you how the survey came down.
Okay. Survey says.
Is it okay with you to ask for a bottle of wine before purchasing it, to taste it?
I'm not applicable.
Okay.
I would
Probably not you either.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Maybe not the one to start with. Ethan?
I will say yes.
Most people say it is acceptable to do that. 43% say yes, 33% say unacceptable. How about ones that are a little more universal, like leaving no tip after receiving bad service.
You would have to, in order to not tip, there would have to be discussions had and things be very clear. Like if like what happens if you have really bad service and you get comped your food? I'd probably, I don't know.
What about if none of that happens? You just had a fine meal but bad service,
No.
or even just a bad meal, bad service.
I'd probably tip 15%.
You'd still tip.
20%, and then round up on average to good service.
Would you? Do you always tip?
I always tip unless it's just atrocious.
But there is a situation where it would
but
be.
it's so ridiculous. Like rudeness, they call you names, whatever, that sort of thing.
So it's like
no tip.
It's like
but-
Dick's Last Resort if that was real. If they were actually like not supposed to act like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're a yes.
I
You
mean,
always
once
tip.
it's yes. I mean, it would have to. It's so unrealistic for someone to treat you that poorly when their job is to treat you well. So I mean, that would happen. I mean, 1 in a million.
Well, this is true. The majority of people say it is unacceptable to not tip.
Yeah, I would agree.
Although I find it to be a situation, if it's that bad, and it would have to be 1 in 1,000 times I've been to a restaurant that it would actually be that bad, that I would actually leave no
Yeah,
tip.
I
But
mean-
I'm not taking it off the table.
Servers make like what $6 an hour or something like that. It's or
Yeah.
at least something like
It's
that
a
when
big
I
part
was
of their
when I was
take-home.
doing that. So I mean, you pretty much live off of tips.
How about snapping your fingers to
No,
get the waiter's
never,
attention?
ever.
Never?
No, don't.
Never?
Stop. If you think this is okay, you're not even allowed to speak.
Now, the vast majority say, 81% say, nope.
No.
Can't do that. What about taking an extended period of time to decide what to order?
My New Year's resolution last year was to know what I want to order when I get to the drive-thru.
That's a good resolution.
And I did it. My family is now capable of, we get up there and we order. There's no thinking at the drive-thru.
Okay.
And I previously was not that person, and it required focus, and I was able to accomplish it. If I'm sitting down in a restaurant and I really don't know what I'm doing, or maybe I got to go take a kid to the bathroom, or my husband has to go run out to the car or something, all you do is reflect the time that you've spent there in your tip. So if you've taken more than your fair share of time, leave more than the fair share of tip.
I think the most frustrating thing is when it's one thing if you get there and you are very focused trying to figure out what you want, and that is what's occupying your time. But if you are on multiple occasions, the server is getting to the table and you're saying, "Oh, I haven't even looked yet. I'm still you just been interacting and talking." That's when I start, as a server, I would start to get a little bit like, okay, let's get it going.
This one's pretty evenly split. 48% say acceptable, so it's right down the middle. This one surprised me. How about flirting with the staff? Now, it's not that any of us, we're all married. We're not going to do this. But would you, if you see it, are you like, oh, man, no way? Or is it depend on the situation?
Well, flirting is very subjective because people can be playful in conversation and it's not like flirtatious, like sexually flirtatious.
Right.
I feel like I find myself in flirtatious conversations a lot. Unintentionally.
Okay.
But I give it back if but it's like playful. You know
Ryan,
what I'm
use that
saying?
in the 2 o'clock hour.
I will. That's part of the costume. You're like,
hello.
You.
That's so offensive. That is not what I was saying.
That's Annie Fry. Oh, that's Annie Fry. You know, I walk down the hall, people are like, well, that's clearly Annie. She's waving a feather boa.
I'm so red right now.
I'll walk by. It's the first time anybody has ever said hubba hubba when I walk by. Like, wow, look at that guy. He's dressed like somebody. Who is it?
Tell him to donate.
Yeah. As I walk by the construction workers, hey, this is for Lutheran education.
Dang it.
Well, anyway, we don't have time to play the Chuck Schumer clip again, but that'll be coming up in the next hour. Stick around. It's the Annie Fry Show, 97.1 FM Talk.
Hello.
A powerful threat calls for a greater response.
When there's a battle, bring strength. When there's a problem, seek answers.
When there is doubt, give hope.
Not tomorrow.
Not in a few years.
But right now.
Some battles must be faced together. Cancer fighters stand up to cancer every day. And you can be part of this battle too.
Visit standuptocancer.org/American Airlines to learn more.
Together, we can save lives.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
A reversal at the White House. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Trump administration now backing away from an order to freeze federal grants and loans after a day of confusion about the decision.
The Office of Management and Budget rescinded an order to federal agencies to pause all federal loans, grants, and other financial assistance. A federal judge put that order on hold temporarily in an emergency hearing after nonprofit groups filed a lawsuit. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters at the time the funding freeze would not apply to individual assistance programs like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, nutrition assistance, and other welfare programs.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, which also said the move was aimed at reviewing spending. Multiple Democratic state attorneys general were also suing. Now, there's still some confusion. The White House Press Secretary now says only a memo has been rescinded, not the actual order. President Trump's nominee for Health and Human Services Secretary says he wants to address chronic disease in America, but critics point to his past comments.
Robert Kennedy Jr. facing a grilling from Democrats like Oregon's Ron Wyden on his vaccine stance. Kennedy says he supports vaccines for polio and measles.
I will do nothing as HHS secretary that makes it difficult or discourages people from taking either of those
Anybody
vaccines.
who believes that ought to look at the measles book you wrote saying parents have been misled.
Kennedy can only afford to lose 3 Republicans on the Senate floor without any support from Democrats to be confirmed.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on Capitol Hill. Kennedy also telling senators he would not pause research on bird flu and that he was not consulted on the White House decision to pause public communications, including from HHS and the CDC. The Fed leaves interest rates alone, a holding pattern to start the year after some reports showing inflation remains sticky. America is listening to Fox News.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Sunshine and not too bad at all for the end of January. 52 for the high going through our Wednesday afternoon. Tonight, clouds take control, though it's kind of a slow process. 33. Thursday, cloudy skies, rain developing Thursday afternoon, going through the afternoon. 50. Periods of rain, even a rumble of thunder, a flash of lightning Thursday night. That will be our heaviest rain. 45. Changeable skies on Friday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Thursday, January 30th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Here are Thomas and Bob with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and would like to learn how linking to the market eliminates your fees and will generate you more income? Would you like to know how to lock in your gains every year without selling, even when the market's going down?
Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any future losses? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you can't afford to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Thursday, January 30th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they were very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
No paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Simple Minds is coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater on June 5th.
Don't you forget about me.
Want to go for free? Listen to The Mark Reardon Show this week from 3 to 6. We're giving away a pair of tickets every day.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I cannot tell you, Joy, the number of individuals who've come up to me crying because they are concerned about our government, who are concerned about being deported for doing absolutely nothing. Individuals who have been in this country and who have contributed to our economy, individuals who work each and every day, who know no other country but the United States, individuals that are fleeing dangerous situations, fleeing violence in their country, who only come here because they want the same thing that you and I want, and that is to make sure that our family is safe and to contribute to these United States. And it's unfortunate that I have to hold countless number of individuals in my arms crying because we have a government right now that is reckless.
Well, that reckless government really put us into the position that we're in right now, wouldn't you think? The idea that reckless government would throw open our southern border. Letitia James there, not missing a moment to politicize this and sensationalize it for her own, as she probably perceives it, political gain. Let's get Deroy Murdock on the phone here with us, nationally syndicated columnist, Project 21 ambassador, and Fox News contributor. Deroy, welcome back. It's good to have you.
It's good to be with you again, Annie.
We've been able to consume a little over a week now of Donald Trump's administration and his commitment, his promise to voters, should they choose to vote for him to secure the southern border, is in full swing. What do you feel about his actions that he and Tom Homan and the border security plan that they've been able to do so far?
Well, I'm very supportive of what they're trying to do. I'm delighted that they're moving so quickly. So many other leaders would have a blue ribbon panel and an interagency task force and hold a study, and maybe after 6 months they'd start to do something. What is it, a week and a day, 8 days since Donald J. Trump returned to the White House, and the deportations are going full swing. The ICE raids, I think, began his first day in office, or maybe day 2, or maybe that night when he got sworn in, and they're not slowing down. They've already gone into Chicago, I believe Boston. They were in New York City just last night. and that was with the assistance of Kristi Noem, our new Homeland Security Secretary. And they're moving full speed ahead to deliver on the exact promises that Donald J. Trump made, which is he'd come in and take illegal aliens who've broken into our country who don't belong here and start with the violent ones, the worst first, as I think to put it, and get them out of this country and send them back home so it can stop making life miserable for American citizens. So it's a great thing. It's great to see it happening, unfolding with so robustly and so quickly.
Yeah, and I think that there are a lot of people right now who believe that this is just incredibly they're emotionally wrought over this. They feel as though it's very bad that these are all good, innocent people who are here, and the compassion in the heart of America is to welcome these people. And you've been saying this on this show. We've had many people saying this on the show for all 4 years that Joe Biden was in, that opening your doors to people to just flood in is not the same as American compassion. And we're in this place right now. And I do believe there's going to be very sad images that we see coming in the future here as people who came here illegally are removed from the country. It's important to remember how they got here and why they got here. Why do you think it is the Democrats, the Biden administration, and whoever was behind it was so eager to open those doors on our border and let people flood in?
Yeah, I mean, we got, during the Joe Biden-Kamala Harris years, we got roughly 10 million people marching across the border, invading this country without passports, without visas, foreign invaders, what they were. And these people, some of them came in here up here because they want to work and be productive. Others came up here because they see it as a great opportunity to rape and pillage and rob from us, assault people, bring in guns, bring in drugs, bring in fentanyl, which kills about 70,000 Americans per year. Some of them came in and operated and probably still operate sex slavery operations, slavery, and these were deliberately and advisory slavery operations where people are required to make garments and engage in manual labor for no pay, and if they try to leave, they get beaten or maybe even killed. That's called slavery. People think it stopped in 1865. Well, guess what? It's alive and well in this country right now. Hopefully, Donald J. Trump and Tom Homan will put an end to it. But I think the reason they brought these people in is they hoped that they would start voting Democrat, and I guess they thought that other Hispanics here in this country would be impressed by this and say, oh, this is great. They're helping out our Hispanic brothers and sisters, and they would be even more loyal to the Democrat Party. In fact, it boomeranged in their faces. A lot of Hispanics who came here legally, or maybe their parents did, or grandparents, or parents like in my case, my mom and dad came from Costa Rica, and they and we are not impressed. We don't like people coming in and breaking our country. We don't like people from Latin America and elsewhere coming in and engaging in assault and child molestation and homicide and terrorism and so forth. And it blew up in the Democrats' faces. Their Hispanic support dropped. And one of the reasons that Donald J. Trump is in the White House is he attracted such a large number of Hispanic votes who otherwise would have gone Democrat. So this little experiment in expanding trying to expand the number of Democrat voters exploded in the Democrats' faces. And now they're paying a huge price for it, which is not being in power anymore.
Yeah, that's very accurate. We're speaking with Deroy Murdock, nationally syndicated columnist, Fox News contributor, and Project 21 ambassador. I think that leading up until this moment, because now we get to see all action. We don't need to persuade anyone to see our side any longer. The campaign is over. Donald Trump is the president, and he was very clear about what he was going to do when he got elected, and it's somewhat refreshing to see such quick action on the promises that he made to the electorate should he be chosen to be the president. Outside of border security, getting the border back secure, I think we do need to look at our immigration system. I'm wondering if you have any thoughts specifically about how the immigration system is set up and how we go from removing the people who came here illegally and then reinvigorating the immigration legal system, just, like your parents benefited from.
Sure. Well, I think the first thing to do is to get the bad guys out. And we're talking about some very bad people. You played that audio clip of Tricia James, my delightful attorney general here in New York, crying, oh, these poor people, and oh, they're suffering and all that. Just in the last couple of days, they arrested one guy who's a Dominican prisoner. He was paroled after doing just 17 years of a life sentence. Got a life sentence for prison, but he's out after 17 years. And his crime was beating to death his pregnant wife in front of his 5-year-old child. Okay, so that's not a very nice thing to do. If you're for women, that doesn't really count as pro-female behavior. So he was arrested by ICE, and I guess they're going to boot him out of the country. They also got a guy named Anderson Zambrano Pacheco, and this guy is a Tren de Aragua member, apparently one of the ringleaders of the group, and he was running around the Bronx just last night or yesterday, running around trying to buy hand grenades. Hand grenades, Annie. Who buys hand grenades? Why does he need a hand grenade? So, these are dangerous people. Once we get them out of there, we got to figure out what to do with the other people who broke into this country, who also are criminals, maybe not violent criminals, but you break in without passport and visa and our permission, then you're a criminal and you ought to be out of here. And as for the existing or the legal immigration system, I think we ought to go back to what we did before, which is if you want to come to this country, great. Go to the U.S. Embassy in your country, fill out a visa application, and when we have time and availability for you to come, we'll let you know. And until then, stay home. And if you do come here, I think it's perfectly appropriate to say we're looking for people who've got skills, people who add to the American economy. I'm very comfortable having an increase the number of H-1B visas and that sort of thing, especially for people who study in this country and get MBAs and PhDs in chemistry or engineering or STEM or whatever. Very often these people get kicked out of this country. I got a friend of mine who has a degree in data science, that sort of thing. He is within 2 weeks. He's from Western Europe, wants nothing more than to be an American. He loves this country. He's more patriotic than a lot of Americans I know, even though he's a European. And if he does not find a job within 2 weeks, he has to get on a plane to get out of here. And he's done everything the right way. He's come in legally. He's filled out all the paperwork, came into the visa. He's dealing with ICE all the time and updating all of his forms and whatnot. And he has a graduate degree in data science. He can be very helpful to this country. And if he doesn't find a job here within 2 weeks, he has to leave. And if he does, he'll go back to Europe and maybe join a European country or company and start competing with us. How stupid is that? He should have gotten a green card with his master's degree, and he could be now working for Microsoft or Amazon or ChatGPT or whatever it is, building up those companies, making them stronger, and building the U.S. economy. And then I assume within another 4 or 5 years, becoming an American citizen. He wants nothing in life more than that. And despite that, he's just had to go jump through one flaming hoop after another. And like I say, he's got about 15, 16 days to go before he either hopefully gets a job, or if not, he's got to go to the airport and fly home, and who knows if we'll ever see him again. And that's a real shame.
Yeah. I mean, the whole system and the whole situation is incredibly complex. It's complicated. I sometimes feel like as though it's been made intentionally to be so. As you and I are having this conversation right now, Donald Trump is speaking on the signing of the Laken Riley Act. I mean, when I'm talking to people in my life personally who are hurt by what they're seeing, I think Laken Riley's name is an important name to say today, and each day that we're watching this happen. We need to have no more Laken Riley acts where we have to name these types of things after these poor innocent lives that have been lost.
I completely agree with you, and the reason Laken Riley was killed, unfortunately, is there was an illegal alien, I believe here in New York, who was arrested. He came in under Biden, and he was arrested for shoplifting or robbery or something like that. Alvin Bragg, the soft-on-crime DA, quote-unquote prosecutor, I put that in quotes, here in New York City, let him go. And so he was free to go down to Georgia and track down Laken Riley, as far as we can tell, rape her, and then take a rock and beat her head in until she was dead. If he had been kept out of this country by Joe Biden or locked up for robbery by Alvin Bragg, Laken Riley right now would probably be sitting in class. I believe she's a nursing student, learning how to take care of people, make them healthier, maybe studying for some quizzes or in the library doing research. And instead, she's in a casket somewhere, I assume 6 feet under the soil of the state of Georgia. Absolutely disgusting. And these are the serious, deadly consequences of having the border wide open and letting people come into this country and run rampantly as they rob, assault, rape, and kill the American people. And I'm glad that Donald J. Trump is there to put a stop to it. And things like the Laken Riley Act, I hope it's the last one like that needs to be signed. And with any luck, this situation will be turned around, and people who come to this country do so because they want to make this a better country and improve their lives, improve the lives of us American citizens, rather than come up here to rape and kill us.
Wow. Amen and well said. Deroy Murdock, thank you for being with us here today. It's good to be on this side of the Trump administration, but there is certainly a lot of work to do. So we appreciate you.
No doubt.
Thank you.
Very good. All right, Annie. Great to talk to you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. President Trump is speaking right now from the White House. We can listen in and hear as he is discussing the signing of the Laken Riley Act. Let's listen in.
Meet a high standard. They're representing our government. They're representing our country. If they don't agree by February 6th to show up back to work in their office, they will be terminated, and we will therefore be downscaling our government, which is something that the last 10 presidents have tried very hard to do but failed. Most of the people we're talking about have not been going to their federal offices in many, many years, from even before COVID. but they have nevertheless been paid. Some have worked, some haven't worked, and most of the studies say that some have just gone through the motions. We may ask these people to prove that they didn't have another job during their so-called employment with the United States of America, because if they did, that would be unlawful. As you understand, a lot of people are getting paychecks, but they're actually working other jobs, so they'll have to prove that to us, that they weren't. In any event, we're requiring them to show up to work or be terminated. We think a very substantial number of people will not show up to work, and therefore our government will get smaller and more efficient, and that's what we've been looking to do for many, many decades, frankly. Thank you. In addition, there was a short-term pause or funding freeze on certain discretionary spending payments, such as government grants, only for us to quickly look at the scams, dishonesty, waste, and abuse that's taken place in our government for too long. As was explicitly stated, this in no way affected Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, or other entitlements that Americans depend on. I've made abundantly clear from the very first day that I ran from office, that was a long time ago now, that's 2015. If you think about it, I announced in 2015 and we won in 2016. We did very well in 2020, but we did really well just recently. And I'm restating right now to correct any confusion that the media has purposely and somehow, for whatever reason, created Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid have not been affected by any action we're taking in any way, shape, or form. We are merely looking at parts of the big bureaucracy where there has been tremendous waste and fraud and abuse. In that process, we identified and stopped $50 million being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas. 50 million. And you know what's happened to them? They've used them as a method of making bombs. How about that? We stopped an attempt to make an illicit payment for illegal alien resettlement. We canceled $181 million in DEI training contracts. This is just for the training of people in DEI, which has been terminated and completely terminated. And we paused $1.7 billion in unauthorized payments to foreign organizations, including stopping more than $40 million that was on its way out the door to the very corrupt World Health Organization, which has not done its job and not done it properly. We also blocked $45 million for diversity scholarships in Burma. 45, that's a lot of money for diversity scholarships in Burma. You can imagine where that money went. These were the types of payments, and many others. I could stand here all day and tell you things that we found, and we have to find them quickly because we want the money to flow to proper places. But these were the payments and types of payments affected by the temporary freeze, and the American people strongly support these efforts. I talked about it during the campaign, and they voted for us in record numbers. Every single day, we're now putting America first and fighting to get the most out of every single tax dollar for our great citizens. We've gathered this afternoon to take another historic action. However, in a few moments, the Laken-Riley Act will become the very first bill that I proudly sign into law as the 47th President of the United States. Laken was a brilliant and beautiful 22-year-old nursing student from Georgia, the best in her class. She was always the best. They would say, Laken, how do you do this? And what do you do? They were always asking her questions. She was respected by everybody, even her teachers. They respected her so much. From the time she was in first grade, Laken knew she wanted to spend her time caring for others. That's what she did. To her friends and classmates, she was a light of warmth and kindness in every single room. To her parents and family, she was everything in the world. They've had a miserable period of time. Just after 9 a.m. last February 22nd, Laken went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia, but she was just never returned. She never came back, did she, huh? Parents are here, sister, all of her relatives. While on her run, Laken was attacked, viciously assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and murdered by an illegal alien gang member who was set loose into our country by the last administration. We are deeply honored to be joined today by Laken's parents, Allison and John, and her sister, Lauren. Thank you very much. Thank you. So sad. We were together right after that happened, and it's a tremendous tribute to your daughter, what's taking place today. That's all I can say, but it's so sad we have to be doing it at all. Thank you very much for being here. To Laken's family, we will keep Laken's memory alive in our hearts forever, everyone's hearts. With today's action, her name will also live forever in the laws of our country, and this is a very important law. This is something that has brought Democrats and Republicans together. That's not easy to do. Laken did it. Laken did it. America will never, ever forget Laken Hope Riley. The vicious criminal who murdered Precious Laken was an illegal alien member of the barbaric Venezuelan prison gang known as Tren de Aragua. He trespassed across our southern border in 2022 and was apprehended by Border Patrol, but under the cruel policies of the last administration, instead of being deported, as he should have been, he was released into the United States, as were millions of other people, many of them very dangerous people. And you see what we're doing, we're getting them the hell out of here. He was soon arrested again in New York City on charges of endangering a child, but because of New York City's deadly sanctuary policies, as we have in California and many other places, which we're ending, we're going to end them, he was released again to reoffend. The Biden administration then provided this illegal alien criminal with a free, taxpayer-funded flight from New York to Georgia, where he was arrested yet again, constantly, this time for stealing from a Walmart along with his gang member brother, who was a bad one. Only after being released a third time by the U.S. law enforcement did this cold-blooded criminal go out in that fateful morning hunting for women on whom to prey. That's what he did. He hunted. It was like a hunter. I'm going to show him who the hunter is. This horrific atrocity should never have been allowed to happen. And as president, I'm fighting every single day to ensure that such a tragedy never happens again. We don't want this to happen. And under the law, thank you. Under the law I'm signing today, the Department of Homeland Security will be required to detain all illegal aliens who have been arrested for theft, burglary, larceny, shoplifting, assaulting a police officer, murder, or any crime that results in death or serious injury. In addition, for the first time ever, this act gives state governments the ability to sue the federal government for immediate injunctive relief if any future administration ever again refuses to enforce the immigration laws of the United States, like happened for 4 long years. And that was happening for 4 long years, frightful years. Amazing. You'd say, how can people do this? How can they allow this to happen? How can they allow criminals to pour into our country and then try and defend it? And they're still trying to defend it, but they can't. That's why I'm here instead of somebody else, actually. It's the biggest reason. I believe it's the single biggest reason. Inflation was horrible. Many things were horrible during that administration. When you look at what took place in Afghanistan, the way they got out, not that they got out, but the way so many things were horrible. But to me, this was the worst of all. It's a landmark law that we're doing today. It's going to save countless innocent American lives. I want to thank every House Republican, every Senate Republican, as well as the 12 Senate Democrats and the 48 House Democrats who voted to pass this vitally important bill, and many of them are with us today, and I really do appreciate it. And I very much especially appreciate the bipartisan support. The Democrats, really a big percentage of them came through, and plenty of them wanted to. They probably felt they couldn't, but they really wanted to. That they don't understand that would have made them a lot more popular, would have made them a lot better with their people. The ones that didn't are going to be sorry, because the people are not going to forget that they wouldn't sign. This is a perfect, incredible tribute to an unbelievable young lady. We're joined today by many great supporters of our new strong border policies, and they are indeed strong, including
President Trump speaking from the White House right
Yes,
now as they are commemorating the signing of the Laken Riley Act. Just one more measure in the list of efforts that this administration is doing to secure our southern border and to keep the Laken Rileys of the United States of America safe. And, you know, I've heard this from the family. I've heard this from people who are honoring her. It's like, we shouldn't even know Laken Riley's name. It's a tragedy that we do. But today we're putting it into a bill, into law, to protect the future Laken Rileys, to keep their names off of bills like this. So President Trump signing that today from the White House. We're going to take a quick break. Corey DeAngelis back on the Annie Frey Show with us. He's a senior fellow at the American Culture Project. He is also the adjunct scholar at the Cato Institute. And we're going to talk to him about school choice. He is a champion for school choice. As you know, this week it is National School Choice Week, and we are celebrating National Lutheran Schools Week with our friends at the Lutheran Elementary School Association in an attempt to raise $15,000 to establish a scholarship to help local kids have the choice of where they want to go to a school, should it be a Lutheran school. If you could please come help us. We need every dollar that we can get. Lisa, LESA.org/Annie. I want to give a thanks out to Home Shield Foundation Repair. Heard us talking with Mark Cox this morning and said, all my kids went to Messiah Lutheran in Weldon Spring. God bless you in your work. Well, God bless you as well. Home Shield Foundation Repair, thank you for your donation. If you're interested in making one yourself, Lisa with an E, STL.org/Annie. We're going to be right back with Corey DeAngelis.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
We all have different ideas of the perfect retirement, but they all depend on the same thing, not running out of money. And preparing for retirement can sometimes be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Find out how you could build your retirement on your terms. Join host Steve All for the All Financial Hour Saturday mornings at 6 here on 97.1 FM Talk.
You can also visit YourMoneyMattersSTL.com for more details.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Carolyn Levitt took the White House podium in the briefing room for the first time, but she's so young. When I look at someone like Carolyn, I'm thinking there's going to be mistakes made. And she hit a grand slam. She was so good.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Frey Show.
Well, America's 2024 report card is out, and the new data offers cause for hope, but a lot of concern, too. So the good news is in math, students held steady or even made up some ground lost during the pandemic. But there's bad news, and its reading scores are still dropping. Not one state improved their 8th grade reading score.
Come on.
Overall, most students are still performing below 2019 levels.
Well, Dana Perino giving us a little bit of an education on the state of education in our country right now. And I have to say, there are a lot of places where you're like, well, that's just the school I have to go to. It's failing. What are you going to do about it? School choice, that's what you can do about it. Push for school choice in your state, in your communities. And we are doing that this week in our partnership with the Lutheran Elementary School Association to establish a scholarship to help benefit local kids. Lisa with an E, LESASTL.org/Annie. We're working to get to $15,000. I'll give you an updated amount. We're about halfway there. So please come join us at that website. The champion for school choice, Corey DeAngelis, is back with us once again. Senior fellow at the American Culture Project, adjunct scholar at the Cato Institute. It's so great to have you back here, Corey. Thank you, especially this week while we are focused on celebrating the idea of school choice.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Annie.
So talk to me about, we're in a different administration right now. It's kind of like a whole new world. I'm very interested to see what the hearing happens when we have the Secretary of Education nomination being discussed. We're not quite there yet. Are we closer to having school choice in our country today than we were maybe a few years ago?
Well, we certainly are at the state level. We've had 12 states go all in on school choice in the past 4 years. Past 4 years, we've had more advancement on school choice than in the preceding 4 decades. We're winning so much, I'm almost getting tired of winning. But there's also some good news at the federal level, too. The cabinet selection of Linda McMahon, she's a big proponent of school choice. I hope she body slams that unconstitutional Department of Education once and for all, or at least maybe gives it death by 1,000 cuts. Trump has campaigned on sending education back to the states in the form of block grants. Give that money back to localities. You'll have more local control. The states can spend the money on education as they see fit. And when it comes to school choice, this is a really good day to talk about it. It is National School Choice Week. Congress just reintroduced, or at least Republican lawmakers introduced, a nationwide school choice bill in Congress today, this morning, actually. It's backed by Speaker Mike Johnson. President Trump said he would sign the bill. It's called the Educational Choice for Children Act. It's a federal tax credit, so you're getting to keep more of your own private dollars, using that for K-12 education expenses instead of giving it over to the government in the first place. It's neither run nor regulated by the Department of Education, so you could do both. You can abolish the department while also expanding school choice, supercharging the initiatives that are already happening in red states, while also expanding opportunities to families who happen to live in blue states that are controlled by the teachers' unions.
Well, I live in Illinois, so I understand what that's like. We're speaking with Corey DeAngelis right now about school choice and its progress so far. So you're talking about eliminating the Department of Education. I think we could be closer to that than we have been. I don't know in my lifetime when it would have been closer than right now. What are the proponents of the Department of Education going to say about a movement like that?
Well, we're going to lose our jobs. That's all they're concerned about. They don't care about the kids. I mean, the Department of Ed was created supposedly as a way to stop achievement gaps from widening. That hasn't happened. We've spent about $2 trillion at the federal level since its inception. It was actually created in 1979 as a payoff by Jimmy Carter to the teachers unions, the NEA. He wanted to get their endorsement. And outcomes have actually gotten worse. We now spend about $20,000 per kid per year in the government schools. That's about 52% higher than average private school tuition. And the private schools are doing a lot better at a fraction of the cost. They were open during COVID while the government schools were closed. They held children's education hostage as long as possible, but that woke parents up like we've never seen before. Parents saw the garbage that was included in too many classrooms through remote learning, which we really should have just called it remotely learning. As was mentioned by Dana Perino earlier, the nation's report card scores came out just last night at midnight, showing actually since 2019, a 5-point decline in reading for 4th and 8th graders. and a 3 to 8 point decline since 2019 in math for 4th to 8th graders, respectively. So, and that's after we spent $190 billion in extra federal COVID relief that was really wasted on the schools. They just hired more people. It's become more of a jobs program for adults than an education initiative for kids.
Yeah, and that's the upside down. That's the upside down system of big government. It serves itself. It doesn't serve the actual purpose that it's being sold to the American people by. I've got a comment here from a listener, Christopher, who says that when he's talking with his relatives, the teachers, we all have teachers in our lives. I'm married to a public school teacher myself, so we have these conversations, and I do like to listen to what they have to say because, generally speaking, what the teacher thinks will differ than what the teachers' unions and these organizations will think. It's very nice to be able to have those conversations. But Christopher is saying, what about special needs programs and things associated with those special programs? If you get rid of the Department of Education, do we just stop helping kids who don't learn the same way and we don't have these programs any longer?
Yeah, first off, I'd like to clarify that the jobs I'm talking about being extinguished would not be the individual teachers at the state level. I'm talking about the jobs at the Department of Education. They employ over 4,000 people right now, paper pushers, useless bureaucrats in D.C. That money wouldn't just vanish. It would actually mean more money for education going back to the states. There's a bill to do just that right now in Congress. It's called the Returning Education to the States Act. It's proposed by Senator Mike Rounds out of South Dakota. And what would happen is if you have special needs students, that law would remain intact. It would move under the Department of Health and Human Services. Any civil rights protections would move under the Department of Justice. And the funding that we're talking about in the form of block grants would be transitioned to the Department of Treasury, which would go back to the states to spend as they see fit on education. You'd actually have more money for education because you wouldn't be wasting it on all these people doing a bunch of nothing in DC.
And also, we've had this conversation before, Corey, but we have a system that kind of perpetuates this march of teachers through the system, but it doesn't necessarily look at the qualifications of the teachers, the exceptional nature of some teachers, the failing nature of some teachers, and really surround the students that are sitting in these desks in these classrooms with the very best teachers that are out there. To me, it seems like a school choice situation where people are getting to choose the education that is certainly the best for their child, that even monetarily, this would still help teachers get paid what they deserve.
Exactly. And the best teachers right now, what are they doing? They're leaving the government school system because they see better opportunities elsewhere. There's no such thing as merit pay in the public schools. The unions fight tooth and nail against any type of pay for performance. And so the teachers who's doing a good job looks across the hallway and says, this person's earning more than me, and they're just showing videos every day just because they've been here longer than me. That's not fair to the teachers. So when you have competition, you also have more of that money that's involved in the public schools right now. Instead of going towards administrative bloat and people like Randy Weingarten who make over $500,000 a year, it goes to the classroom with competition, because in the current system, if you look at the money, since 1970, we've increased funding per student by about 164%, even after adjusting for inflation. Teacher salaries have been flat over the same period. They've only gone up by 3% in real terms. So I kind of feel for the teachers who complain about having to pay out of pocket for supplies each year, but the problem isn't with their competition in the form of private and charter schools. The problem is that their employer is a monopoly that has no incentive to spend money wisely. Real quick, since 2000, the number of students in the system has only increased by about 5%, but the number of administrators in the system has increased by a whopping 95%,
Holy
19 times the rate of enrollment increase. It's an insane bureaucratic blob that needs to be reformed for the kids, obviously, but also the teachers who are getting the short end of the stick too.
Well, I always appreciate your willingness to bring the spotlight directly where it needs to be. And school choice being celebrated this week, if people haven't already, they should follow you on X at DeAngelis, Corey, because you're always pushing this stuff out there as soon as it's there's news, just like you were listing today. There's great things to talk about, but the work is just beginning. And it's nice to be in a climate right now where we might actually see some of this come to fruition.
That's right. And Trump just today, he's expected to announce an executive order to direct the Department of Education to find any way it can to expand school choice. So this is great news coming from the top.
Awesome. Corey DeAngelis, thank you for the time today. It's good to have you back.
Thanks, Annie. Good talking to you always.
Yep, you as well. Happy National School Choice Week. It's National Lutheran School Week here on the Annie Frey Show, and I have an update from, it's like maybe 30 minutes ago, and I said we needed to get to $7,000 by 1 o'clock, and we did. We are at, I think it's $7,338 is the update I got about 30 minutes ago, so we're very close to meeting our halfway point for our $15,000 goal. You've got 15 minutes to get us to $9,000, which is outrageous. That would be, I'd fall off my chair. Ryan said he's going to dress like me. This might have been a bad idea. I might have not have thought this out all the way. It's Spirit Week here, so we're dressing like our coworkers. I'm dressed like Brad. Brad's going to dress like Ethan. Ethan's going to dress like Ryan, and Ryan is going to dress like me. At 2 o'clock, we're going to have a reveal. And he said that if we got to $9,000, that he would wear lipstick like I wear. And I did get a list of comments from donors, and I got one I'll just highlight here from George, and it's in all caps, for the lipstick. So it did do some good. I think maybe the biggest win here for Ryan is if we come in at, like $8,900 right at 2 o'clock. He gets off scot-free, and we get pretty close to that $9,000 mark. If you are able to, please consider a donation. Small, big, it doesn't matter. Whatever you can afford. LESASTL.org/Annie as we march towards our goal of $15,000. It's a very tall order, but we're excited to take on that opportunity to do it. So let's take a quick break. We'll get Ryan back in here, ask him how he's feeling. I think he's safe. I told him when I set that goal at $9,000, I'm like, that's not going to happen. And he's like, okay, fine. But he only said the top lip. So we'll see. Ryan Wiggins back in studio in a minute.
This is The Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Stewart's American Mortgage is the home of the Bagel Loan. The Bagel Loan is the mortgage you get without having to pay any closing costs. Now, when you are looking to acquire a mortgage, whether it's for your first initial home purchase, if it's when you are trying to refinance, did you know both of those can qualify for the Bagel Loan? Both of those opportunities to work with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage will make it so that you get the other side of this. You go through the process, you do the refinance, or you get the mortgage, and when you're finalizing everything, you don't pay any dollars, $0 in closing costs. It's a smart move, and Stewie will walk you through the whole process to make sure you completely understand it in great detail. He's done that for me, so much so that I've done a Bagel Loan twice on my refinance, and I have a great low rate. You can lower your rate, you can take equity out of your home to make home improvements or whatever you want to do, consolidate debt, or buy your new home with the Bagel Loan. You reach out to him at 314-324-4440, Google the Bagel Loan, and NMLS number 226715.
January is a great time to practice your 2A skills at the Range St. Louis West, the only NSSF 5-star shooting range in St. Louis County. Right now, you have a chance to win a custom range-themed hockey jersey and a pair of tickets to a Blues game by playing their Shoots and Scores promo all this month. Go visit them at 14803 Manchester Road in Baldwin. You can shop online anytime at therangestl.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and X. I'll see you at the range.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches on my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around the store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain Go. Find a good feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Visit one of our 2 locations, Creve Coeur and Shiloh, Illinois, and at goodfeet.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
Do you support school choice? It's a yes or no for today's YouTube live chat poll. Let us know why you believe what you believe, especially if you're a no. We'd like to know why. Do you support school choice, yes or no? It's today's YouTube live chat poll. You find it by typing in Annie Frey on YouTube. And by the way, Jason Aldean tickets coming up in the 2 o'clock hour. We're giving away a pair of tickets every single day this week, and we have yet to give away a pair today. So that's coming up in the 2 o'clock hour. Stick around. 149. This time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Get dressed for the 10th anniversary of Gent Men's Fashion Week on February 16th, 2025 at Energizer Park to raise awareness for men's prostate cancer through men's fashion. More information can be found on 971fmtalk.com/events. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Frey Show.
People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Chuck Schumer from Capitol Hill today. That is real. That's not AI. I kind of wish it were.
You know what's so funny about that? After watching it now for the 15th or 16th time,
I think it's pretty obvious.
That, the part where he says people are aroused, that's the funny part. But also, the people around him look the exact opposite of even interested.
Yeah.
They're just standing there with sourpuss faces like, I'm a staffer.
I'm a staffer. Our scholarship's up to 7,756.
All right, good news.
Little bit short of the 9,000 to get you to wear lipstick by 2 o'clock.
But not short of the 9,000 that we could still hit by 3 o'clock.
Yeah, lipstick
and that's
free.
the important thing, really.
Will you wear lipstick if we get it by 3?
At home.
That's no different.
Well, and I won't take any pictures, but I will do it, and I'll tell you about it.
Like Steve Buscemi.
It's kind of what I had in mind.
Man, I'm glad I called that guy. A couple notes here from people who have donated to our scholarship fund. We're doing it this week. After this week it's over, please help us get to our goal. The sooner you help us get to our goal, then we can stop talking about this. LESASTL.org/Annie. I mentioned Home Shield Foundation Repair, great sponsor of Mark Cox in the morning, and he heard me talking with Mark this morning and was very kind and generous this morning with that. So if you want a shout out, leave a comment when you leave your donation, and I will give you that shout out. Eddie said, great cause, Annie. Jennifer said, thank you for your commitment to school choice and advocating for Lutheran schools. George, I read this one before, said, in all caps, for the lipstick.
I heard that.
Yeah. Richard said, grateful for all Christian education, and I echo that as well. James said, God bless you folks. You are a source of light in a very dark world. Brent said, granddaughter graduated from Mel's. That's Metro East Lutheran High School, played soccer and volleyball. She met her boyfriend and made great friends, now attending Colorado State. Vicky said, hope you hit your goal, Annie. Gary wrote, both of our kids attended Lutheran schools K through 12, Emmanuel and Lutheran High School St. Charles. I've been there many times. Our daughter graduated from Concordia Seward and married a pastor. Our son breezed through college and graduated with a bachelor's and an MBA in 4 years. Great investment in your children's future. Robert said, glad to help. Janet said, thank you, Annie. This is great. This is for a great education. My grandson attends a Lutheran school, and I am so pleased with the education he is receiving. And John said, keep up the good work. That's definitely something that I encounter a lot out and about when people talk to me about listening to the show. Usually they're like, quietly want to say that's something nice about Ryan Wiggins. That's first. But they don't want people to know.
They want to do it very quietly.
It's almost like they haven't come to grips with it
Like, can you turn the fan on? I want to whisper something.
Yeah, I just need a little background noise. Another thing they talk about is they're grateful for that we talk about our faith, our Christian faith. And many times I hear from people who have grandchildren who are going to Christian schools, Catholic schools, Lutheran schools, non-denominational Christian schools, and you just talk about how important it is to have that foundation at that age. And this scholarship is helping make it possible for those who may not be able to afford it. And I've said this before, it's way more affordable than you would think it is. I can openly say that last year I sent 3 kids to a Lutheran grade school for less than $10,000, which is, I think, surprising to people to think that it would be 3 kids at that amount. So, but every school is different. The way every Lutheran school and the church that usually it's connected to, or churches, they all handle it differently. So there are opportunities out there for you to access if you're interested in that Lutheran education. But if you are in a position to donate $25 to this cause or $2,500 to this cause before too, then Ryan will have to wear lipstick. That's
I'll do it. But I also just this
You're lucky
cause
I don't have
actually
like
excites me.
$1,300 laying around right now.
Yeah, you would just do. I actually thought you might do that.
Well, if it gets close. It's not close enough yet, but if it gets close.
But all that grant money stays in St. Louis. You're sending kids here in our area to a Christian education who would not otherwise be able to do it, which is a great cause.
I mean, now more than ever, the idea of being able to the thought of being able to have those most foundational elements that you need to have when you're out on your own, when your kids are independent, making sure that they are established and watered throughout the course of a child's life. Getting them into Christian school is a great way to do that.
Yeah, it really is.
And you send your children to a Christian school.
I do.
Just a different.
It's funny how many people, when you talk about this subject, if they're not invested in it, it just is like, oh, okay. But the minute you talk to somebody who knows, oh, that's important, man, it's like you connect because you know how much it's done in the life of either your kids or yourself, for that matter, your grandkids, and people just go, oh, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Well, lisastl.org/Annie. We would love the opportunity to include you in this community that we've established here. And it's Spirit Week here on the Annie Frey Show. So we're dressing like each other. So you're going to go. It's not just about the lipstick. You're going to dress like me.
I'm still not putting on lipstick, but I have a great costume. I have encapsulated you perfectly.
You've encapsulated me perfectly.
Yeah.
We'll see about that next on the Annie Frey Show.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one who lives with you. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care, helping you with preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more. A family member or friend that gets paid instantly. It's all through Medicaid, and as a St. Louis resident, it's 100% free to you. New to Medicaid, the Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 7,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. If you live in the St. Louis area, this service is free to you through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers can choose to get paid instantly. So go to freedomcare.com or call 314-697-4912. 314-697-4912. That's 314-697-4912.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. I depend on them for eye care, and they have an announcement. They're pleased to welcome Dr. Samuel Berry to their practice. Dr. Berry is a cornea surgeon, and he has the latest knowledge and techniques for advanced eye care and treatment in the field. So what do we call them now? The doctors? No, just the best doctors to see for your best vision. In St. Louis, you can reach them at 314-966-5000. They've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any others in the practice. Now, if you need help with dry eye, LASIK surgery, maybe you have glaucoma, macular degeneration. I had an eye disease when I was just 25 years old, so my eyes are very important to me. You get the absolute best care with the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Bersati, Andy Royer, and now Dr. Samuel Berry. 314-966-5000 or visit youridoc.com. They have a great location just off Manchester Road, a half mile west of 270. Ophthalmology Associates.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or CVS. That's newnordicusa.com.
I'm getting older. Do I need to worry about falling?
Yes, you do. Every year, 1 in 4 people 65 and older will experience a fall, and many result in serious injury. The majority of falls happen at home. So take a look around. Replace bulbs and add lighting to help you see obstacles. Remove things that can make you trip. Fix uneven steps and floors. And install handrails in bathrooms and on stairs. Consider balance or strength training exercises, which can help with agility. Get your eyes and hearing checked regularly. Changes in your hearing can affect your balance. To learn more, please talk to your doctor about steps you can take to help prevent a fall. You can also visit aarpfoundation.org or medicaremadeclear.com/falls. This message was brought to you by United Healthcare and AARP Foundation.
KFTK FM Florissant, an Odyssey station.
Not backing down on a funding freeze. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, and he's accusing the media of creating confusion over a pause on federal grants and loans.
Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid have not been affected by any action we're taking in any way, shape, or form. We are merely looking at parts of the big bureaucracy where there has been tremendous waste and fraud and abuse.
A federal judge has put the order on hold for now after lawsuits were filed yesterday. President Trump also just putting federal workers on notice they'll be fired if they don't agree to return to work in their offices, adding he might ask for proof those working from home didn't have another job. His comments coming at the start of a signing ceremony for the Laken-Riley Act, the first bill of his second presidency.
And this is a very important law. This is something that has brought Democrats and Republicans together. That's not easy to do. Laken did it.
The Georgia nursing student was murdered by a Venezuelan man who entered the U.S. illegally and had been arrested in the U.S. before. The new law requires that unauthorized immigrants accused of crimes, including theft, be detained. President Trump just announcing he plans to open a detention center at Guantanamo Bay to hold up to 30,000 migrants. Health Secretary nominee Robert F. Kennedy Jr. trying to reassure senators about his positions, especially on vaccines.
Vaccines play a critical role in health care. All of my kids are vaccinated.
Some Democrats say he's backtracking on long-held beliefs just to win a cabinet post. Rhode Island Democrat Sheldon Whitehouse says debate about late-term abortions often leaves out emergency situations during childbirth.
Government has no place in that room at that point.
Kennedy has said he supports abortion restrictions after a certain number of weeks. Today was the first of 2 confirmation hearings for him. America is listening to Fox News.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just one dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Sunshine and not too bad at all for the end of January. 52 for the high going through our Wednesday afternoon. Tonight, clouds take control, though it's kind of a slow process. 33. Thursday, cloudy skies, rain developing Thursday afternoon, going through the afternoon. 50. Periods of rain, even a rumble of thunder, a flash of lightning Thursday night. That will be our heaviest rain. 45. Changeable skies on Friday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
Man, I remember the day, like a lot of my customers, going to school. When I went to school, I had to walk uphill, and it was 25 below zero. And 14 inches of snow an hour. And then by the time I got out of school, the terrain changed, and I still had to walk uphill to get home. Remember those days? Crazy. This is extreme weather temperatures. Most people's furnaces can break. If your furnace breaks, give me a call. It's common. It's normal. It's going to happen. It has nothing to do with global warming or anything. It's just these are extreme temperatures. If we can't repair it the same day or it doesn't make sense, I'll give you a really good price on a furnace that gives you heat without the ball face lies that you're going to get more heat and it's going to save you money. So if you want common sense, call me, Bart Inman, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com, and that is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Lutheran Elementary School Association, my friends over at LISA, stl.org/Annie, we've put together an opportunity to provide a scholarship for local kids, people who can listen to 97.1 right now and hear my voice. There's a Lutheran school near you, and we want you to know about it. We want you to have access to it, and that's why we're coming together for this scholarship. We are halfway to our goal, over halfway to our goal. We're trying to get to $9,000 today. We're trying to knock off 20% of our goal each day to get to $15,000. Please, 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 if you have it in your heart right now, if you're feeling motivated to provide that school choice for an area kid who maybe isn't as fortunate or as blessed as you are, you can do that today, and you can do so by going to LESA.stl.org/Annie. It's LISA, which stands for Lutheran Elementary School Association, stl.org/Annie. And when you're at that website, you can donate. And you can also learn more about the Lutheran school system that is around here in the bi-state region. LISA, stl.org/Annie.
97.1 is excited to welcome Brian Kilmeade back to St. Louis.
Hi, everyone. Brian Kilmeade here. I have great news. I'm going to be joining all of you in St. Louis.
Be a part of this event.
March 22nd, St. Louis. You're going to love it.
Get tickets at briankilmeade.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Spirit Week on the Annie Frey Show, and we're working on a few final touches here before we do our reveal. I'm dressed right now as one Brad Range, and Brad wears Adidas jackets pretty much every day and T-shirts. I was going to look for a Star Wars T-shirt, and I couldn't find one today in my husband's drawer, so I went with a Cardinals T-shirt and my green Adidas jacket, and I think it hits. I think it's okay. We are trying to raise those funds for the scholarship this week. If you are interested in helping us, go to lisastl.org/Annie. We also have been watching as RFK Jr. has been testifying in front of the Senate committee to hear his to hear, answering questions of what the senators want to know about him. Kind of goes back and forth, Republican, Democrat, of course, as we're pretty used to seeing. But it was interesting to listen to somebody who is in this position because he was nominated by Donald Trump, but also in being nominated by Donald Trump, he's a Democrat. He is not a Republican. So it's a little bit unique, kind of a unique opportunity for America to see this person who believes that he is the right man for the job get this opportunity to be confirmed as the Health and Human Services Secretary. I just find it to be very interesting. This is what he said.
Problems in this country that we must face honestly. And the first thing I've done every morning for the past 20 years is to get on my knees and pray to God that he would put me in a position to end the chronic disease epidemic and to help America's children. Grateful to President Trump the opportunity to sit before you today and seek your support and partnership in this endeavor.
So listening to him talk about how he's prayed to God for this opportunity, I sense that he is sincere in that. I think it's been really amazing to watch the RFK Jr. story as it has gone through him running for president, him pulling out and endorsing Trump, trying to take his name off of ballots in certain states, and then trying to just say, go vote for Donald Trump. I'm all in on Trump, and this is where I can still serve my purpose. I think it's a pretty amazing thing. We also just saw Donald Trump. He signed the Laken Riley Act, and I think that is something that's been a long time coming. We see that on the steps of Tom Homan's complete and total resolve to secure our border, to rid our country of these criminals who are living among us. It's just a lot going on. It's very busy. It's if you voted for Donald Trump, chances are you knew this was coming. This is what he said he was going to do. I think there are some people who can't believe that this is happening right now, but this is why people voted for Donald Trump. This is why they chose Donald Trump. All right. Ethan, we don't have you on camera yet because we're going to get Ryan in here in just a minute, but you've got Brad over here dressed as you. Give him a grade. How did he do?
He nailed it. Let's see. You wearing jeans though?
Do you wear your headphones on the inside of your hoodie or outside of your?
On the outside. No,
the
so
outside.
he got that right. He's got a nice beanie on. It's a Cardinals beanie with a Cardinals sweatshirt.
When I think of beanie, I think of like cap with a propeller. Is that different?
Stocking cap, beanie, they're all the same thing.
He did wear a shirt. I was kind of surprised by that.
A shirt? What do you mean?
Yeah. I can't pull off the no shirt look. So I decided to go with the Ethan isn't feeling well look.
I was told. This is pretty accurate then. The only thing that you didn't truly capture is you're wearing jeans, and if you knew me truly, Brad, you would know that I would never voluntarily wear jeans, which is why I am wearing them now as a part of my outfit to capture the look of Ryan Wiggins.
For as comfortable as Brad is dressed right now, he is very fidgety and is appearing very uncomfortable.
The hood is difficult.
I'll mention this. It is a tough art, a difficult art to capture in being able to have a beanie on, but have the top of the beanie, the little ball on top, not be covered by the hood while being able to wear headphones on top. There you go. Now you got it. Now you've got it perfectly. You are really starting to encapsulate who Ethan Hannaford is.
Do you place the top of your hood to be at like a 45-degree angle intentionally?
Yes.
Because it looks cool?
Correct.
Okay.
If I put it all the way on, I'd look stupid.
That level of cash is intentional.
Correct.
It's a style.
Correct.
All right. Now, should we get Ryan in here? Is he ready? I'm
That's what you want to call
Am I
it.
ready? Oh, man. Ethan is in here dressed as Ryan, but I don't feel like we can talk about that without Ryan being in here.
I walked out to grab a good old oatmeal cream pie here. And because, Ryan Wiggins loves his Little Debbie snacks, and I literally had to cover my mouth and said, I can't take you seriously like that.
Yeah, is it time?
There's the let's do it.
It's time.
Okay.
Should I go get him?
You should go get him. Yeah, well.
Annie!
Oh, hey. You jerk. What is the hat? What is the hat? You look like a mentally challenged leprechaun escaped from the mob.
I will
gosh.
have you know,
You have to.
this
show
is
his camera.
not an Irish hat. This is a German Oktoberfest hat.
What?
Ryan, go ahead and
Explain
start your
exactly what it is that
I
you're
will.
doing here.
So,
Why do you have a hook?
my computer won't work now because Ethan was operating it.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah. So. Oh,
Go ahead and
there we
keep
go.
describing the
hey. So I am dressed as Annie.
You're not.
And the essence of Annie, really, because
what does that mean?
Annie loves October. She's always talking about October. She is I would say, heavy drinker. And so I wore the German Beer Fest hat, and then the wig because everybody knows Annie has long, flowy hair. And then the hand. Now, the hand was a little bit tougher to tie in, but so if you're not watching, I have a pirate's hook hand. And that is because Annie, if you listen to the show for any amount of time, she always talks about how much she loves the ocean. She's always talking about the ocean.
You picked like all the opposite things of me, except for the hair.
Well, I guess it's true. She actually does talk about the land a lot more than the ocean, but she does love the ocean and pillaging ships. So this is it. I'm Annie.
So can I ask you a question? The wig, the color is a little bit more red than Annie's hair. I noticed that there was even another option on your desk.
Was it blonder?
A true blonde, a wig. What was the mindset in going with this one, Ryan?
Annie, that blonde wig was just kind of all over the place. This, as you can see, is done hair. And Annie does her hair. And so I felt like I needed to honor that and do my hair,
You look like, that hairdo looks like Cindy Lou Who.
But regardless, it's pretty good. And if you saw me, I walked around. There wasn't a whole lot of people out here, but when I saw Jake on Y98, I could tell that he
didn't
looked
even
up
notice.
and thought I was you, just because he didn't really notice.
Did you flirt with him?
No, it was through the glass. He's on. I couldn't do that.
Did you flirt with your eyes?
Yeah. I did.
I actually commend the listeners of not getting us to $9,000 because if you were wearing lipstick right now, I'd have to leave.
Yeah. So this is definitely not me opening my costume bag and just grabbing 3 things this morning on my way out the door. This was thought through.
I'm curious about the blonde wig. Did you think the blonde wig was better, Ethan?
I mean, define better, more accurate?
How could it be worse?
I mean, it has to be better.
Why are you wearing a fedora with a feather in it? Why is there a feather in a green
There's
fedora?
also a pin on the other side.
Yeah.
Like a lapel pin.
I do think that I was tough to nail down because you just put a beard on Ethan. I guess he has a backward hat.
Are you kidding me? He's wearing a backwards hat.
And
he's got a beard.
I'm wearing jeans.
Oh, yeah.
You always wear quarter zips.
I'm not wearing one today.
Poor timing.
I don't wear them that much.
Yeah,
as much as any other
and you know what?
person.
When does Annie wear fedoras?
Well,
or
now
have red hair?
Now you're getting dangerous.
Or
because,
have a pirate's hook.
You're sort of trying to capture me on the outside. I'm trying to capture the soul. What is she like?
What is it with you and the soul?
Because this is not real close on the outside of what she looks like. But when people see it,
It's not real close on the outside to what I look like?
Yeah.
Does it have any sort of resemblance?
I would say the head is spot on.
Shut up. Andy on YouTube says she's got a Kit from A League of Their Own vibe.
Okay.
She wasn't the hot one.
Oh. Who was the hot one? Madonna?
Gina Davis.
Rosie O'Donnell?
What's her name?
Dottie.
Dottie.
I just want to point out, some people are asking, where is this oatmeal cream pie? I do indeed have an oatmeal cream pie because this is actually, it's not cut in the shape of a heart, but it may as well be because it is the equivalent of my Ryan Wiggins heart.
He put a lot of effort into this.
I woke up my wife this morning and I said, I need a gray Sharpie.
Yeah, I noticed that you did gray in just a little bit of the beard, but it doesn't come through very well.
it was the effort that counts.
Yeah.
But, for those that aren't listening, Ryan has 2 shades of gray in his beard, and his chin is like Santa Claus white, basically. And I was going for that. It didn't hit, but like I said, it's the effort that counts.
Mm-hmm.
And, yes, this tape beard is not very comfortable.
A lot of the comments are saying that you, as me, remind them of the movie 50 Shades of Grey.
Nobody said that. That didn't happen.
Maybe if it was
I'm
shirtless.
beginning to think
Maybe
that
if Brad
you
was dressed up
need
as
help.
shirtless Ethan, maybe that would be the case. He's not.
Everybody's saying it. I'm just reporting it.
Put the hook down.
Yeah, I'll just switch hands.
You can't do the rest of the show with a hook.
Sweaty. So anyway, if you haven't seen it yet, you know what's hard is that girls must deal with this all the time, so you could probably speak to this better than me. When you try to get the hair out of your face, how do you get it out of your face with a hook?
Well, if I were you, I'd just take off my wig.
That's probably good advice. Because right now I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so hard for girls to get their hair out of their face with a hook.
Can we please get a Annie impression?
Yeah. Yoo-hoo! Sailor boy!
It's
me.
Oh.
Who needs a wife?
This reel is going to take forever, but it's going to be amazing.
You can't see because of where the camera is.
Andy cannot breathe.
You're
but
awful.
I'm just sort of like standing with my leg out.
Oh, goodness. It's quite the look, Miss Frey. Mrs. Frey.
Is that how
You talking
women
to me
got
or
men
him?
in the 40s?
Huh?
Like, in my mind, that is how women got men
I don't
want to
know anything about your mind.
Sailor boy.
Yeah. Yeah. They just, went down to the dock.
Just waited for them to return.
Yeah, you looked exactly like this.
And they looked like this.
Really?
And the men were like, whoa. And their heart beat out of their chest.
Hey, guys have been on the ocean for
their
months
eyes
at a
went
time.
big.
They're not too
They were
picky.
like, "Auga."
I think they're that picky.
Wait, sailors or cavemen?
Sailors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the cavemen, I don't think they spoke English at all. Anyway. Brad?
It's the worst time to throw to me. I can't breathe.
These two are basically useless over here right now.
I know. Every time that we go to an Oktoberfest, is Annie not wearing one of these?
What exactly are you pointing to right
Never
now?
been to a fest
Yeah, that's why
with
he's
you
got-
in October.
I've never
This
gone
hat.
to an Oktoberfest with Annie.
How many have you accompanied with Annie? Annie?
We've never gone to the same one.
Oh.
But my understanding is...
You said you've seen her, though.
I asked the question.
Oh.
It was mostly rhetorical.
No.
I didn't expect anybody to answer it. It was how many times have you seen Annie wearing this
Seems
at
like
a
a very
beer
literal
festival?
question.
It does seem kind of specific.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be kind of broad.
There is literally a tear rolling down Annie's cheek
I know.
right now.
There's no better way to explain what you look like other than kind of broad.
I would say gorgeous. Although you're right. People have been asking me. They're like, it's weird. You've talked about this before, where I walk by out there a little bit in the kitchen, and people like, give me a little bit of the side eye, like to check me out a little bit or something. I don't know. I've never experienced that before. But they would look at me, and they'd go, "Are you tired?" And it's because I'm not wearing makeup.
Maybe the lipstick would have helped.
All right. Okay.
Right. The lipstick would have helped.
Last thing I'll say is that, sadly, this is probably a semi-realistic look for 2025.
Yeah, little did you know, you're ahead of your time. I need you to go get me something from KMOX. right now.
Oh, just something?
Anything.
I'll take one of the Murrow Awards.
That's
off the
fine.
wall.
Just proof you were there.
Take one of Fred Bottomer's awards.
I'm going to walk around perusing for a bit, though.
Just seriously.
What do I want out of
Ethan,
here?
follow him with a camera.
Yeah, you do need to act like you're thinking with the hook. That's.
You want to read George's comment
Did
there?
anybody come in here with any donuts today?
Before we.
Hey, eyes up here, KMOX. That's what I'm going to walk in and say in the newsroom. It's like, hey, you guys. Hey, you top of the hour guys. I'm not a piece of meat.
But you are, saying, yoo-hoo, sailor boy.
I didn't say that to them.
Newsboy.
I was saying that to Y98.
Oh, gotcha.
Younger demo.
Yeah.
We should go to break.
You're advertising for
We're
it.
talking about our friends. Yeah, pretty much. Something else when we come back.
You don't want to stop and do like a fundraiser here?
LisaSTL.org/Annie. They probably canceled the whole thing. I'm not sure. We'll be right back.
Little Joe is blowing on the slide trombone.
This is the Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Everybody knows put down to the jailhouse rock. Number 47 said to number 3, you the cutest jailbird I ever did.
Hey, Jimmy Fallon here with a quick listening tip for you. If you miss Fox Across America or any of your other Fox News favorites, do not worry. I got you covered. You can stream previously aired shows with Rewind, available exclusively on the free Odyssey app. So if you're busy work days, it doesn't mean you have to miss out on the news. Listen to your Fox shows on your time with Odyssey. To get started, just download the free Odyssey app and search for Fox News Radio. That's Odyssey, Audacy. I'm spelling it out in case you're a little slow like me.
When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house, and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo, because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home. The brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years. Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO. Easy to remember phone number. Or go online today at 877-25rhino.com.
RulerFoods.com. Saving is simple when you shop at your local Ruler Foods. Right now, you can save on strawberries. A 1-pound package, $1.99 each. And these are delicious, fresh strawberries that you can shop at your local Ruler Foods. They have Kroger 80% lean ground beef sold in a 3-pound roll, just $3.99 a pound. Also, you can save on Pepsi, Mountain Dew, or A&W 12 packs. 4 for $17 when you buy 4. And save on Kroger chicken wings, a 22-ounce bag, $7.49 each. You can shop smart and spend less. You can also get it delivered from Ruler Foods. At Ruler Foods, they're going to bring you unbeatable deals, top quality produce, and savings you're going to love each and every time you go back into the store. When you shop online at rulerfoods.com, you're going to be able to sign up for delivery, shipped right to your door. Ruler Foods brings you smart choices, bigger savings delivered directly to you. Save on your grocery bill, fill up your cart for more than the more you can put in there, the more you're going to save. That's my family does. We go to the Collinsville Ruler Foods. Find yours at rulerfoods.com.
Marie, is that you?
Oh, hi, Barb. How you doing?
Better now. Did you know we had a little health scare with Jeff?
Oh, no. What happened?
Well, he had been short of breath and was really tired a lot of the time. He just thought he was getting old and was out of shape, but it turns out it was heart valve disease.
How did you figure it out?
He finally went to the doctor, and she was able to listen to his heart and detected the problem. I didn't realize it, but heart valve disease is more common than you'd think. They were able to replace the valve, and he's feeling so much better now.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
More than 5 million Americans are diagnosed with heart valve disease every year, but most people know nothing about the condition, and it can be deadly if untreated. That's why it's important to listen to your heart and ask your doctor if your symptoms may be due to heart valve disease or if you're at high risk. A message brought to you by Heart Valve Voice US. For more information about the symptoms and treatments for valve disease, go to heartvalvevoice-us.org.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Level up the comfort of your home this winter with either free attic insulation or an air scrubber. With a new HVAC system installation from Air Comfort Service. For details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Want to listen to 97.1 outside the listening area? There's an app for that. Download the Odyssey app, and one tap will turn the station on. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk.
This is The Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. You want to take it from here?
As you?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't think so. When I speak in that voice, people stop out there and they're like, ooh. Like, it's like the Chuck Schumer thing. People are very aroused right now.
That is a Chuck Schumer quote, in case that doesn't make any sense to you. Have you guys gotten any text messages lately about unpaid tolls?
No.
Fox News has an article on this, which is why I'm bringing it to the attention, because my daughter sent me a screenshot of a text message she got, and it was telling her that she had, and it was referring to Illinois, that she had some unpaid tolls. And I saw on Fox News here just in the last couple of days, a new scam has come to light targeting residents across the United States with text messages that pretend to be from toll road operators. For many who receive these messages, it's an easy and expensive trap to fall into. The scam begins when people receive a message claiming they have unpaid tolls and may be charged fines. Scammers then ask for card details and a one-time password sent via SMS, just text, to steal their money. Security researchers believe that Chinese smishing groups smishing are behind this scam, selling SMS-based phishing kits to thousands of scammers. And I hear about these things, but my daughter, like the day before I saw this article, my daughter got this text message. I wonder how widespread it is.
This is coming from an outside source, out of the country?
Well, it's Chinese originated, but it looks like it's local. Russell says, yes, Annie, got one 2 days ago. Let's see here. Vicky says she gets those all the time. Russell says his is from Illinois tolls. That's the one that my daughter had. And I mean, we haven't driven on a toll road.
No, and we do so infrequently that I actually find it safer to just text with my toll booth operator directly. So whenever we drive through one, I'm
trying to be a professional here.
I give him my
you look
I give him my
ridiculous.
phone number,
and just
and I go,
yoo-hoo. All right, you take it from here. It's all yours, Annie. Let it rip.
You know what's tough though is
I have an idea.
Yeah, no respect. When I walk around outside out here now,
Are you going to do impersonations for 29 minutes?
I don't know. I really don't. I have nothing more than this sentence I'm about to say.
Okay, go on.
People look at me and they look at me like I'm a siren. Like somebody who's just there to please the eye. And that drives me crazy. And I've dealt with that
You're
before.
You're absolutely being Ryan right now, for the record.
Well, I'm not. Yeah. Well, no, in the wig. When people look at me and I'm like, look, clearly I'm Annie today. And they're like, we know. But it's too much. And the only nice thing about it is that our social media views have gone up because people like looking at girls more than guys.
For one final time.
Yeah, that was it. We sort of spent all that capital.
I don't know that you're giving what they're wanting to get in that realm.
I beg to differ. The look on the people's eyes. I'll walk out there right now.
You can't.
And I'll report
You're
back
on the
if you
air.
want.
You've derailed the conversation that I started.
Yeah.
To talk about you looking like a fool.
No, I did not want to do that. I was talking about texting directly with the toll booth operators. That was a good joke, but it was in line with the story. And then we got talking about this all of a sudden.
Ethan can't move his mouth because his Scotch tape beard will fall off.
Can you talk? Or does it fall off?
He ate a whole oatmeal cream pie.
Oh, that's true.
I did do that. I have to be very careful when I speak. Otherwise, it does start to fall off of my lip.
Jacob says on YouTube, just got the same text about Illinois tolls last week, but when I checked the number, it was from a Pennsylvania area code. I feel like this is this is super simple to just click on that link, because if I were traveling around, it would not be unlikely that we went through a toll and didn't. You can pay it digitally. In Florida specifically, they just capture your plates and then they tell you we'll send you a bill. So you pay it 30, 45 days later or whatever.
Whenever you rent a car, do they try to upsell you really, really hard no matter where you are?
When we went in November to Florida, we rented a car and we got the full insurance on it, and then I ended up looking at my credit card, and my credit card actually has a benefit on it that covers that for me, so I didn't really have to buy it.
When we've gone to Florida and we kind of know the rules there, we know like the Florida Fast Pass and all that stuff. They always try to upsell you though, like, oh, get the Fast Pass.
Are you talking about for Florida highways?
Yeah,
Oh.
but then the one trip I made to California last year, man, the minute I said, yeah, this is our first trip to California, that dude sunk his teeth in and was like, oh, well, we really need to sell you like 4 different things that I'm like,
Maybe
I
you
don't
just look
have
like a sucker.
any idea. I was wearing the wig.
That explains it.
Were you flirting with him?
Yeah. Well, once I found out that he had the power to either charge me more or less, I was like, ooh.
Are you good at flirting?
Yeah.
As deep as your voice has been today.
Rental car boy.
Yeah.
Ooh, Marcus.
That might have been his name. I just use it no matter what.
Okay.
Whoever you are. I'm like, hey, Marcus.
They're all Marcus to you.
Yeah, they're all Marcus to me. When they look at me like this,
Were you a
they're
good
all
flirt
just a
in
bunch
high
of
school?
Marcuses. Was I a big flirt? Yeah, I think so.
What was the story
I was
about-
probably trying to work the angle with every girl I met.
Yeah, wasn't there? Did you tell a story about you like walking up to like this
prettiest
like
girl
the
in
prettiest
school?
girl in
Yes,
school? She was
yes.
dating like a football player. Like
She was dating. We were freshmen, and she was dating somebody who I'm not even sure was in high school anymore, and was playing football somewhere, probably like on a college team.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I got a shot here. and let me tell you, in retrospect, I did not.
what did she say to you?
I think she was kind enough to let me think that I had done okay, but that there was not a chance.
Did she pat you on the head?
No, she didn't do that.
No.
Did she wipe her hand off after she patted you on the head?
I was pretty greasy. That was in my learning to bathe era.
Why is that in quotation?
That's so weird. This is so bizarre.
No, there was another girl. I think I was probably a sophomore because I think we were talking about, when we get our licenses, we should go out and stuff. And I could not take the hit. This girl had zero interest in me, but she happened to, because of the seating chart, sit right in front of me. So every day I'm like, hey, we're going to go out this weekend, right? And she was like, no. I'm like, okay. Hey, but there's a weekend coming up. Next weekend. She's like, yeah, I'm busy that one.
Can I
though."
ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you like these girls, or are you just seeing what you could do?
Yeah, it's like define like. I think
Well,
it was
because
just,
I don't know if this is a boy thing or if it's really particular. I've never been a boy, unlike Ryan, who is currently a woman.
yeah, experiencing this for the first time.
Yeah, it's really
And there
wild.
are
Are you?
ups and there are downs.
You moody.
Yeah, you hate people looking at you the way they do.
Yeah, but yet you just push yourself out there.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's like almost compelled.
When you're a high school boy, are you just trying to see if you can get a girl's attention, if you can acquire the attention?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, then because I didn't know what would happen once I did.
The dog who caught the car.
Right.
There wasn't like a step 2.
She goes, yeah. Oh, now what?
Yeah. If she would have said yes, I would have said, that's great.
Would you have
let's
been
go out.
if she would have said yes? Would you have been interested in said relationship?
Yeah, but I don't know what that would have meant. Like, it would have been me picking her up and being like, okay, let's go see a movie because that's what people do. And then let's have some food. Let's go eat some peas and corn somewhere, and I'll pay.
Good thing that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Ethan, were you a flirt?
Yes. So
everybody in radio was probably a flirt.
Probably. It's just the personality. I was, but at the time, like, people would make me aware of it, and I'd be like, no, I'm not. I'm just outgoing. It's just how I
Find yourself
interact.
on dates you don't know you're on.
No, never that far. But yes, I was definitely a flirt. I was just very outgoing and very friendly, and then
There's a difference between being outgoing and playful and flirting for the purpose of the next thing.
But looking at it now,
he was playful.
All of the people that I was outgoing and playful with were really pretty.
Yeah.
So you're just. It seems to me like you're trying to cover your bases here.
Yes.
I can hear your scotch tape.
Your mustache is coming off.
It's been going off since Annie slapped it on my face.
You asked me to.
You're right. Oh no!
When you say playful, I'm thinking you walking up to a girl, grabbing a ball of yarn, kind of batting it around, falling on your back.
You're
just
so
kind of batting
weird.
It, you know,
You're weird.
clawing at a thing.
Brad, were you
Look how playful he
flirtatious?
is.
I wasn't a cat.
No, I was probably the opposite of flirtatious. I was very
Angry?
No.
Yeah. Get out of my way. You
No,
hot
but
girl.
like
But I only said it to the hot one.
if I ever asked a girl out and she said yes,
never
my
be
immediate
loved.
reaction was always, really? So I just didn't have the confidence to be flirty. I was nice, but I wasn't really.
What
I
kind of
just-
tips would high school Ryan have given high school Brad?
I've heard them. I know I've heard them. Go on, give them to me.
Have you?
Well, why don't you tell us, Brad?
That's a really tough answer because I didn't get anywhere.
I
So
know,
I
but yet
can't
your
tell him-
confidence wasn't bothered at
Oh,
all.
yeah, that's true. I probably would have
Yes.
walked up to
Pretty
him,
sure-
put my arm around him, and be like, listen.
Didn't you?
Listen, Brad.
The day that Charlie came in, you were giving him plenty of advice.
Hey,
yeah,
what?
but that was good
You were on
Christian
air right
advice.
here.
That was good advice.
Christian advice?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't unsupervised Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
Mentorship.
You were here and you allowed unsupervised Ryan to happen.
Ryan would have walked up to me and was like, "Hey, bud, why don't you just go talk to her, man? Just go talk to her. What's the worst that could happen? Just go put yourself out there. You don't know. She might say yes."
I would have said, hey, man, you know what you need to do is quit striking out. Hit a home run.
You sound like the Wii, the Nintendo Wii narrator there. Like, home run. People can't hear
I know,
that.
it's just purely visual jokes.
Did you have girlfriends in high school?
Yeah. I had
It's like
I had
an ASMR thing
girlfriends,
I'm not here for.
But it was like
Did they know?
Yeah, they knew.
Ish.
It was not strong relationships. It was like,
what were these relationships built on?
Like the girl I took to prom, it was like, all right, you're not really in any like strong social circles, and neither am I. We kind of exist outside the circles. So let's go to prom together because then we don't have to kind of interrupt the social stratosphere, you know. And so we got along fine, but there was no real like strong attract. We weren't really dating or anything.
You just
there
went
was no
together.
electricity
You had a
in the
date.
air.
Yeah.
Do you still know her?
No.
Is she listening right now?
I have no idea. I don't
Can
think
you-
I saw
can you
her
imagine-
after prom.
Can you imagine if she sees you right now?
If she saw me now, she'd be like, "Whoa, what did I miss out on?"
No, she would not.
Yeah, she would.
No, she would not.
She would think I looked really good.
Did you have girlfriends, Ethan, in high school?
A couple.
A couple?
2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Brad?
I had 2 girlfriends over the course of high school, and it's funny that Ryan mentioned prom because the one girl that I wanted to ask out, I asked her to go to prom, and she kind of was like, I don't know, and so then I just asked her sister and took her little sister to prom, and her little sister brought her.
Stone cold.
That's so awesome.
You know what though? We started dating after that.
The sister? Or
No, the girl that I liked.
How did the little sister feel about that?
I told her, I said, your sister's asking out. I want to make her jealous. Let's do this. And she thought it was a great plan.
Wow, he
That
was
is
upfront
pure
about it.
savagery. Put that in the Hall of Fame right there. Holy moly.
No kidding.
Speaking of,
All right. Brad, what kind of tips would you have given young Ryan Wiggins?
All right, yeah. Hey, I'm listening now.
You gotta be stone cold, man. Because like when I went to prom with this girl, she brought a friend with her. So I actually, in my senior prom, took 2 girls to prom.
Whoa!
See all the guys say that.
Legend.
But
wait,
yeah,
how?
Well, her friend was part of the prom committee, and so she was able to go.
It was more of a paperwork thing.
Yeah,
right?
it was more of a paperwork thing. But
he took 2 girls
but she's
on
like,
paper.
Hey, my friend needs somebody to ride with, needs somebody to go with. Can she go with us? And so I walked into prom with a girl on each arm.
Okay.
So I mean, it was like Ryan said, it was a paperwork thing, but it made me look cool for like 10 minutes.
Were you wearing a tuxedo?
Yeah, cool tuxedo. I had a sash around the shoulders and everything.
Really? Did it say mayor?
No.
What?
No. Blue blue
Miss
ribbon.
Illinois?
Mr. Wonderful.
Segue to the scholarship somehow.
We're doing this for a good cause.
Annie, why don't you do it?
Oh no. People's minds would be in the gutter
Just
if
flirt
I did
with
it.
them, Ron. Flirt with them.
I can't, man.
Get them to donate.
I'm crossing too many lines right there.
You were crossing a lot of lines.
Yeah.
They're not in view any longer.
Oh no. They're well behind us.
It's weird how your voice gets lower and lower.
It's because I have to.
The weirder you get, the lower your voice
I'm
goes.
emasculated. I have to remasculate.
Well, you did it to yourself.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Like, I woke up this morning, I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to cross dress.
Is that what you would
No,
call
you
this?
got to dress up like me.
Well, the rules seem to fall where I had to dress up like you.
Well, I will just point out
pretty
that
well.
all of your choices to dress like me have nothing to do with me.
Well, wait till I put the hat back
Yeah,
on.
and you have a hook.
And then maybe you change your mind.
Oh, it's Spirit Week here on the Annie Frey Show, National Lutheran Schools Week, and we are grateful for you for hanging out with us. Hopefully you're enjoying National School Choice Week, which is very near and dear. We need to get Missouri and Illinois on board to make sure that the kids in our local communities do have the opportunity to go to the school of their choice, of their family's choice. We're trying to help with that. We don't want to sit around and wait for the government to show up to help with the problem. We can help with that. And what we can do is put together this scholarship. We're trying to get to $15,000, and we're very close to $8,000 right now on the day. If you could help us wrap this hour up, get us past that $8,000 mark, we're very, very close. I think it's less than $300 that we need to get to the 8,000 mark. We would love and appreciate you for anything that you can donate. The website is Lisa with an E, LESASTL.org/Annie.
This is the Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
The Retirement Advisory Group has a seminar tomorrow. Are you going to be there? I will. I want you to come join us. There are a few seats that remain. You do need to reserve your spot at 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494, online at retirementkey.com. Protecting Your Retirement educational event on Thursday, January 30th at the Frontenac Hilton starting at 6:30 p.m. So I will get there at about 6 o'clock, as will Mark Cox. Mark Reardon gets there as quickly as he can, and we're going to spend about 30 minutes hanging out with you, getting to know each of you that show up. We would love that opportunity to chat with you for a little bit, but then you're going to get turned over to Thomas Helbig, to Bob and Tammy Kershaw, who understand exactly how to provide for you the worry-free retirement that you've always hoped for. You're going to spend like maybe 45 minutes in this room learning what they can do for you, and that's it. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. They have snacks. I would love the opportunity to meet you. Mark and Mark will as well. So reserve your spot today. 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494. You can find them online as well to sign up at retirementkey.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at Zero Res, and how about the biggest sale ever in celebration of the new year? Leave all of the 2024 dirt behind with the new year. Out the door 24. Let's start the year fresh in 2025. And here's the deal. 24% off all cleaning services for the month of January when you mention my name or 97.1 FM Talk. If you didn't get it done last year, this is a great opportunity to take advantage of an awesome offer for 2025. Anything in your home, the carpets, the tiles, the rugs, the upholstery, every surface can be Zero Resified. So this is the time in January to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res. Don't forget the air ducts, too. That's really important, helps alleviate allergies or asthma, and you want to enjoy less dust, lower energy bills, and your home's going to stay cleaner longer. Take advantage. 24% off all cleaning services for the month of January when you mention 97.1 FM Talk or my name. 474-2020 or online, ZeroResSTL.com. Don't miss this offer. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-668-6655. That's 800-668-6655. Again, that's 800-668-6655.
The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll of the day is, do you support school choice, yes or no? I have a feeling that we might see yes win this one. But what will the totals be? We'll give you the results in just a minute. You can get your vote in right now by typing in Annie Frey on YouTube. Today's date will come up. You can see the live stream. And you can see all the costumes. And you can also vote in the poll. Do you support school choice, yes or no? 249. Oh, by the way, we ought to give away some tickets. Let's do that right now. Jason Aldean, be the sixth caller at 314-241-9797. Jason Aldean will be here on July 19th at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, and you can win a pair of tickets if you are the sixth caller right now at 314-241-9797. 249. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com. Good afternoon, Mark Reardon on a really nice day in St. Louis. Lots of sunshine. We're going to get you through the next few hours. We have the very latest on the RFK Jr. confirmation hearings. That was big on Capitol Hill. And Brian Kilmeade joins us at 3:25 for his weekly visit. It's all coming up after Fox News at 3.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Frey Show.
I wish they just fall off. But I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. Oh, what do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. There's a Fox News alert came out. You remember when Senator Bob Menendez had gold bars in his coats because that's what people from where he came from do?
Egyptian gold bars.
Do I ever remember?
He was found guilty in July. It was one of the other things that happened while I was on my vacation when everything changed. He's been sentenced. The judge sentenced disgraced former Democratic Senator Bob Menendez to 11 years in prison. on Wednesday, concluding his trial for a, quote, long-running bribery and foreign influence scheme of rare gravity. Prosecutors had requested a 15-year sentence for Menendez. He's 71. After he was convicted on July 24th on 16 counts of bribery, extortion, conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. He is the first United States senator in American history to be convicted of working as a foreign agent. His co-defendants were also sentenced to 8 years and 7 years, respectively. Prosecutor said, as proven at trial, the defendants engaged for years in a corruption and foreign influence scheme of stunning brazenness, breadth, and duration, resulting in exceptionally grave abuses of power at the highest levels of the legislative branch of the United States government. Menendez's conviction came after a 9-week-long trial. The former Democratic lawmaker was accused of accepting gifts totaling more than $100,000 in gold bars as well as cash. This is, to me, an interesting story because it's total corruption. It's kind of like if people who don't pay a lot of attention just assume that everybody in government is doing this type of stuff.
I was going to say the same thing, that this is what people... Well, of course he got convicted of taking gold bars from Egypt. That's what all of Congress does.
But then when you get closer to it, and we're closer to it, we have access to talk to people, you realize there are a lot of good people who work in government. And then you think, gosh, does that stuff even happen? And apparently it does. And he'll be in prison for 11 years for
Although they said that was the first time anybody had ever been convicted on that charge before. So that's almost encouraging in a way.
Yeah, I am happy to hear this, and I am interested to see what kind of other anti-corruption things the Trump administration can do. We had Corey DeAngelis on at 1:25, and we talked to him about school choice. It is School Choice Week. We're doing our fundraiser. Lisa, stl.org/Annie, help us get to our goal of $15,000 by the end of the week. If not by the end of the week, we will just get to it when we get to it, but we're getting close. We're over halfway there. As far as school choice goes, that's our YouTube live chat poll for today. Do you support school choice? I would be shocked if anybody in here was a no. But Ryan, do you feel passionate about the idea of school choice?
Yeah, this is a top line issue for me. This is an absolute yes. I support school choice. Honestly, the only thing I'm disappointed with it in so far is that the states that have implemented the best haven't done a great job of telling their populations that it exists. So it's been slow to be adopted even in states that have it.
Because super complicated.
Or complicated, that's right.
Illinois has had the option. I don't know if vouchers is the right word, but Illinois has had things in place, and it's so complicated.
It's like they're discouraging it from existing even though they have it.
Yeah.
But the states that have passed it recently, they're not discouraging it. It's just people have not figured out how to use it, how it, just because it's such a personal thing. That's going to affect the way you live life if you have kids and their life. And it's like they haven't quite grasped how to implement it.
I'm a firm believer that children belong to the parents. They're the parents' kids. They're not our kids. And then in that same line, I look at school choice and I say, who are we to tell parents how they get their kids educated? It should 100% be up to the parent. And then I think that the money should follow the student, not the school, or you don't fund a building, you fund the students. And so I've been a huge school choice advocate because of that.
I just think when the government controls with such a heavy hand the system that we have right now, what can they do with that control? And we've seen in the last 5 years what they're willing to do with that control, and that's what's pushed me even more. I mean, by the time this all gets implemented, if it ever does, it'll probably be too late for me, which is frustrating because I'm paying a lot of money in tuition that I'm very happy to pay and grateful that we have that opportunity to send our children to Lutheran schools. But it's a valiant fight. It's one worth investing in. Ethan, will you give us the results today?
304 votes on today's YouTube live chat poll, which asks, do you support school choice? Earlier in the day, I told you, Annie, it was still pretty early, but I said that, it was at 100% for yeses, and I was wondering if we were going to stick at 100% throughout the day. We're not too far off from it. 98% in the votes say they do support school choice.
On our fundraiser right now, Lisa, stl.org/Annie, if you'd like to donate. Rich and Maureen made a donation. Their comment, we are Catholic and love our Catholic education, but heck, go Lutherans.
That's cool.
I love that. And thank you to Annie and 97.1 for supporting Christian school choice. You better believe it. God bless you. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't go away.
At the Williams residence, everything looked kind of the same from the outside. But inside, their lives just got way happier. 3 years of inflation and debt had crushed them. But for the first time, they had the cash to secure their retirement, pay off bills, and plan their future. They didn't win the lottery exactly. They did a genius financial strategy called the Sell and Stay program from Truehold. It's easy. Their home's value had rebounded greatly, so they quickly sold it to Truehold and banked all that equity in cash. But since they weren't ready to move, they could stay put with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold even paid their property taxes, home insurance, and essential home repairs. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a Truehold offer now while your home's value is high. Call 855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at Zero Res, and how about the biggest sale ever in celebration of the new year? Leave all of the 2024 dirt behind with the new year. Out the door 24. Let's start the year fresh in 2025. And here's the deal. 24% off all cleaning services for the month of January when you mention my name or 97.1 FM Talk. If you didn't get it done last year, this is a great opportunity to take advantage of an awesome offer for 2025. Anything in your home, the carpets, the tiles, the rugs, the upholstery, every surface can be Zero Resified. So this is the time in January to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res. Don't forget the air ducts, too. That's really important, helps alleviate allergies or asthma, and you want to enjoy less dust, lower energy bills, and your home's going to stay cleaner longer. Take advantage. 24% off all cleaning services for the month of January when you mention 97.1 FM Talk or my name. 474-2020 or online, ZeroResSTL.